Alright guys, take 3. See if I can get this to work out. Alright, trying to get Gregory added. We'll be with you shortly. Waiting for Gregory. Waiting for Gregory. There we go. Let me see if should give you an option this time. Hold on. I don't know why. What in the world did we do this time? I see Brandon again. That's what I'm thinking. Let's go. Let's show and bring you on camera. Sprout, you're not on. You don't have privacy. You're on a PC. Do you have webcam? Webcam, ear, and all that? I see Brandon. Yes, you do. Oh yeah, because he tried to call me. So, anybody good with bringing on live guests on computer? Let me see if I can get something over here. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to switch back over and see if I can get this. Gotta go back to my live on my computer. Come on. I don't know what it's doing. And it's not showing up on your end? You don't have a way to send a request or anything like that? If anybody has any advice, getting impatient. Damn. Sprout, are you able to use your phone? Hey, here we go. Of course I'm adding. Been waiting to add.
Holy shit.
Somebody. No, you're playing. I know you're playing. Had enough.
Hey, are you there?
Yeah.
Are you there?
I'm here. I'm here. Are you there?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah. Same on my phone. I can't see you, but I can see you on my computer. You're just a little delayed. I can't figure out how to turn that delay down.
I'm on my phone now, so it's kind of like.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? I'm Ozzy, St. Anger Productions, and this is St. Anger Productions Presents Live Interviews. Today we have Gregory, Alan Manuel, aka Sprout. What's up, Sprout?
Yo. Hey, how's it going?
How are we doing today?
I could be better. I could
I
be
hear
better,
that.
but I'm doing it.
I'm glad you're here. Gotta say that. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you're on this video. Well, half a video.
Right. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for
All
having
right.
me.
So Sprout, I start with this every show. I fully support our local entertainment. However, local is not limited to just, Tonkawa, Tulsa, or wherever. Local can literally be anywhere you are located. Local is your scene and your location. So with that being said, tell me a little about what local means to you. What is your location to describe the local entertainment scene? And lastly, on that one, how far is your reach and how far are you willing to take your music?
Good question. So I'm from Wichita, Kansas, and of course, every band that starts is a local one. I've lived in Tulsa for about 12, almost 13 years now. It's okay. I don't mind Tulsa. As far as the music scene, I'm not as big of a participant as I used to be due to some of my own principles and other things that I've got going on in my brain with what I've got to interact with around here sometimes. But where I come from, and I was younger, of course, the scene was monstrous. In Wichita, everybody supported each other. Everybody worked hard. There was a sense of camaraderie, but there's also a sense of competition as well. Today, they like giving out participation trophies and shit. Yeah, whatever. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being on the stage. There's nothing wrong with enjoying music the way you want to enjoy it. But if you're trying to reach a certain distance or have a certain goal, you should probably prepare for that and take yourself seriously before anyone else does. So it's kind of like, you know, making sure you get your P's and Q's and your ducks in a row and things like that when you're in the local scene. You want to make an impression. You want to have music. You want to have good quality. You do. Wichita is really good at that. The reach is in the artist's hands, the band's hands. If you don't put in the work, where you think you're gonna go? Like, it doesn't matter where you're from.
Yes.
I've been touring. I've toured for years at one point, and as far as reach, it's wherever you can reach. You can stretch your arms out a little bit if you need to. You can stretch Armstrong. You can reach people if you need to, but you just got to put in that work. I've never really been, until recent years, a weekend warrior music. It was something that I did every day, and it was something that, I get off the stage in one town, go to sleep in the van, and wake up in the morning on the way to the next, So, I mean, wherever you can get the job done. It's wherever markets that love you, that host you.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't quite hear the end of that, and all of a sudden, you know, I look over and your mouth is still moving. It's like, wait, wait. I'll hear it later when I go replay it again. How far are we in? Skip past that.
Question number one.
So you know, it sounds a lot like the Tulsa music scene. You know what you was describing there first, where you know you're just there with each other, for each other, helping each other, and just supporting each other. But then the second half of what you were saying, you know, you put in the work, you practice, and you just go at it, and just do it. You know, as much as you can. Coming from the words of somebody that's been tutored all over, we can get to some of that. But somebody of your caliber, basically, telling these local music people that's stuck in their little area, like, hey, just saying, if you want to do this, you've got to get it done. Don't mess around.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong. Like I said, I'm not against people enjoying music the way they feel and choose to enjoy music. That's important. At least there's music out there. But if you're trying to do something specific, a cool outfit, expensive gear, and rock star lines is not going to fucking help you. Sorry, it's not. People can spot a phony from a mile fucking away. And when you're not genuine, when you're not authentic, your authentic self, we can tell. We can all tell.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter what town you're in. It doesn't matter what scene you're from. It's just that. I see bands all the time that they think they've got this thing and they have no work behind it. They've asked no questions, But, sometimes, some of these folks actually contact me or some other people that I know. And yeah, I'll pass jewels and give advice, nothing wrong with that. Because if they're serious, I want to be supportive of that and help them,
Exactly.
At this point in my life, I'm 45 years old. I'm grown up now, and so my life really being on the road like that, it's not over, but, it's not something I'm doing right now. But I've always had the mentality, no matter what I'm doing, I want to do the best at it, the best that I can. So I really do enjoy the toughness of it, and I really do enjoy the stress of it. I'm one of those weird characters that thrive under great pressure. I don't know why I hate it. I just hate it, but I do. I'm just built for it. Some people actually make it a distance. They finally start touring. They go on their first tour or two, and they find out, hey, I can't handle it out here. I've seen that.
And it's not easy. It's not an easy life, especially if you're married, if you have kids, if you have family or any, it's not as easy as just, flying home for every holiday, birthday party, and home game. You're gone on, like you said, business, and it's tough out there.
Tell me about it. I've been divorced twice as a musician.
Thank you for your service.
I've been divorced twice. I can't blame music, but one of the things I've learned in my older age as a musician is balance. I really can't have it all, I can have a job and put in the work and make something good and, make sure I put time into the quality of things and make sure everything's okay.
Yeah. So how did you get into music, and what instrument or instruments do you play?
I grew up in an abusive household. One of the things that helped me a lot was music, whether it was listening to it or banging around on school books with pencils, or it doesn't matter. I use it as an escape, listening to music and things like that. The first instrument I ever played, it was a viola. I was in 4th grade, and I played
Nice.
it up until about 7th grade. Uh, I liked it, but it wasn't me. I just wanted to get my focus and my mind off of things. So when I discovered guitar, some friends of mine were playing in high school, and I was like, you know what? I want to do this. Well, I wasn't that good of a guitar player. You know, you see something, you want to do it, you get in your hands, it's like, oh, what am I going to do with this thing now? But I put the time in, and I ignored the world through high school, learning how to play guitar. I had a good group of friends, and we had a little band together. We were called the Sleepy Weasels, and you know, I in those days it was pretty much grunge and whatever little punk rock that was starting to surface. After that, my stepdad would bring home all kinds of shit. So there was this church that was closing, and they had this really old piano from like the 1910s, a really brutal upright, and that came with the original bench and everything. And like I said, my stepdad would bring home any fucking thing. It wasn't tuned, but I couldn't play it when they were home. It was annoying to them. So, but they wanted a piano. Go figure. So during the summer, when they were gone at work, when my brother was playing video games, I would sit there and learn the piano. Everything that I needed was in that bench, you know? And it really helped me learn and focus. But after that, it was just hardcore and punk rock from there. There was just certain music that hip-hop couldn't reach me. Like, I was a little more aggressive than what hip-hop was giving me. Plus, I didn't live that lifestyle. I wasn't about that life that hip-hop represents sometimes.
Right.
I really got into Bad Brains, started listening to a lot of old school hardcore, Black Flag, Bad Brains, Minor Threat. I was never straight edge or anything like that, but I appreciated the message and knowing that there were kids back then that really didn't stand for that kind of stuff, that kind of originality, and those group of people wanting to be different that struck me. And I knew I could be myself in a scene like that. I was in a lot of like punk rock and ska bands for a little while in the 90s, but I discovered metal. A friend of mine, well, I didn't discover it, but I really got into it. A friend of mine played me some Long Live the Code. The Code is Red, Long Live the Code. What is that record? I'll remember here in a second. But that grindcore stuff really got me. I was like, man, this is awesome. This is so awesome. And I went from there. I listened to everything I could get my hands on, and I went from there and just started finding people to jam with over the years, and that was that.
Mm-hmm.
Napalm Death. That's the name of the band. I had a brain fart. Only had 3 hits of weed. Napalm Death. I love Napalm Death still. They had Napalm Death. They're one of the godfathers of grindcore, but they were heavily inspired by hardcore, the stuff that I listened to, the bands I just kind of mentioned. And so they just took it to a whole other level and involved their own thing. But I was intrigued by that. You know, how can this noise be lovable? I found out. It was cool stuff.
Sounds like how I was with my drumming. Just, it was a lot of noise.
I didn't know you played drums.
Yes, I started in high school. Well, no, summer of 6th grade, I got my drum set. Before that, I was using my little sister's Barbie doll house with doll legs. This shortly after that, I became the stereotypical drummer turned sound tech.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I grew up playing jazz.
You know what? I'm a jazz player. I like playing jazz piano. I've done a lot. Jazz music is probably the music I love the most. And it breaks some people's heart when I tell them that I'm not a metalhead. And I do love metal and hardcore and all that. I love it all, but jazz is where my heart is.
Let's do it sometime.
Huh?
Let's do it sometime. I got the drums, you got the piano or keyboard. Let's go. Let's start us a jazz band.
I got everything. Whatever you want me to do, I can play.
Bet. Let's go. Maybe you can give me some drum lessons.
I'm the dog that likes
Um,
to catch a frisbee. Like, you invited me to play music, let's play music, you know?
so you described a little bit. How much more of your musical background could you describe for us?
Singing, I started at church, and I was a kid, and even as a young person, because of where I grew up and what was going on in my house, I wasn't accepted in church. So I was kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I love music, and that was the only place I had, you know, the experience of being around music regularly, as far as live playing and singing and things like that. I was not made to feel welcome, even as a young boy. I blame my parents for that. But sometimes, when you're young and you need to let something out, you got to find your own way. And nobody should be that young to have to find their own ways through certain things. And so,
Yeah.
the one good thing I can honestly say my mother did for me was that she did give me my first acoustic guitar. I was
Nice.
14 years old, and it was a Harmony acoustic guitar. It's about the size of a ukulele, and she ordered it from the back of a Finger Hut catalog.
Oh, wow.
That's the first guitar I ever owned.
Nice.
And
Fingerhead,
I
though.
don't have that guitar anymore. I mean, I played the shit out of it, and I've had several guitars since then. But that was the one good thing I think he ever did for me. I'm just saying.
So, how do you see yourself for your future in music?
To be honest with you, I don't really plan on doing it forever. There's other things I want to do in my life. I'm not jaded. I know what that looks like. I'm not jaded. I know I have time left. I've done things that a lot of musicians will never do, and I didn't even make it big or famous or rich or anything like that. But I had good experiences, and I don't regret them at all. I made sure that when I was in the thick of things, I gave it my absolute best. Now, for me, music is more therapeutic than leisure, if I could say that, I guess.
You're good.
I started playing bass in November just for something different, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The current band I'm in, the bass player, he stepped out, and since I could play guitar, I tried playing the bass. He had the guitar player hold the side of the bass in his house, you know, and I picked that up and played it, and that was that. I'm a bassist. I fell in love with it. It's
Nice.
kind of my decision to kind of quit in a few years. It's kind of put on the back burner when I started learning the bass and really being intrigued by it. My best friend in the whole world, who hasn't been with me since we were both 18 years old, he's passed on. He was a bass player, and he was better than most adults. He played like he was 50, and the kid was only 18, 19 years old. And so I think a lot of the memories I have of him kind of guide me sometimes. And
Right on.
I miss it tremendously. But it's given me a recharge when it comes to music.
Okay. That one's a little hard to move on from.
Hey, I can go deeper if you want. I mean, oh, cheers,
Well, then let's go.
cheers.
Let's go deeper. What can you tell us about current projects and your role within those current projects?
So the band I'm in now. Oh, first off, I want to give a shout out to Kingship and my guys back in Wichita. We're still very much a band. We ain't put it down yet. The guitarists and bassists started a new business venture. They own a bar and a restaurant. So, you know, priorities. They got to make a living. They got to get that thing rolling. I'm pretty sure we'll be back for a show or two sometime in the future. But last year, I joined Strength and Agony, And I started off singing, and it was funny. They Horace messaged me, and I was doing nothing. I was watching YouTube, and he messages me and says, "Hey, if you're available, why don't you come out and jam with us? We're looking for a singer, the norm." And people get a hold of me all the time, and a lot of the time they don't even have music for me to listen to, but they sent me some video. I'm like, okay. So I go out there, and I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. Everybody was pretty. I was probably the one most uptight. I didn't come out of my show. You can ask the guys. I didn't come out of my show for like 3 weeks, and then one day my shirt's off and I'm jumping all over the damn place. Some months back in, I want to say September or October, the bassist he stepped out, and instead of going to look for a bassist, I took over the bass duties and I'm singing. So we're now a trio.
Nice.
And we're writing new material right now, and it is groovy. It is heavy and it is groovy. We're older gentlemen now. We're elder statesmen, so we ain't got to need to play super duper fast or anything like that. We love that stuff. We do. We cherish fast metal, but we're more on the groovier, heavier side of things. The sound of the band, since more so since the three of us started writing collectively, me bringing in riffs, Horace bringing in riffs, Ryan bringing in those badass drums, hey, holy shit, I miss you guys too. Holy cow.
Yeah, you've been getting all kinds of love.
Man, oh wow, thank you. Sometimes, because I isolate myself a lot, I don't feel it, but I do appreciate the love I do get. There's motherfuckers out there that hate the hell out of me. So I do appreciate the love. I do.
Oh, yeah. So, from your perspective, what is your mission for the band? And I guess you already, I guess kind of a different answer, depends on how you want to say it. Do you write music from the lyrical aspect or like musical, or do you incorporate both?
So it's different for me this time around in this band. As a solo artist, it's me writing and playing whatever, I feel like. I don't have anybody telling me what to do or anything like that. I don't have that sort of thing going on in this project, but I'm singing and playing an instrument at the same time in concert with two other people. So I've got to be extra sharp. And I had this conversation in the car with my guitar player the other day. He asked me where I was in my playing. I said, man, I think I'm below average. He goes, well, I think you're at least high intermediate. Yeah, I like to be realistic.
Nice.
I don't have the years playing bass. I could sing my ass off, but I just don't have the years playing bass. So I've just put in the hours. I'm damn near obsessed with it. So just making sure I can do what I need to do and do it right. And that's really important.
Yes.
To me.
It is.
So
I'm glad you got a good bandmate.
Oh man, I got some really good bandmates. I've never jammed in bands with scrubs. They were always good players. Like 99.9% of them have always been good people. I have nothing bad to say about the people I've been in bands with, man. And since I've been doing this for so long, you can only imagine how many musicians I must have shared stages with. Some of us had our beef, some of us, still maintain healthy friendships today. And there's people I don't even want to have a goddamn thing to do with. But that's only one or two people, hence 98, 99%. But, it's always a good thing. I kind of take the jazz artist approach to being in bands. Jamming with as many people as you can, The experience is what you like. It's the artistic expression, the camaraderie. It's almost like AA or church. You're at least doing the things you love with people like you. You know, I grew up
100%.
around a bunch of spiritual mystics, so it's kind of like, all right.
So this project that you're doing, this band that you're in, are you gonna have some jazzy grooves in there too? Like some jazz rock, jazz, whatever fusion?
Well, I wouldn't put it past us. I'm a jazz pianist. I play
Mm-hmm.
piano, and Horace is a saxophone player. He's very, very good.
Nice.
I was invited. I was invited to play a festival last spring called Earth Note. Or wait, Blue Note.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Blue Note. They have 2 festivals during the year: Blue Note and Earth Note. I played Earth Note as my first year playing, and it was a really good crowd. It was really chill. Far from Rocklahoma. I mean, it's primarily acoustic artists, maybe some reggae bands. It was really chill atmosphere. And
Mm-hmm.
Horace, he basically ran the stage all day. But one of the things that I'm really, really impressed with, this guy played a saxophone at least twice every hour, it seemed like. Everybody wanted him to be on stage with him. He's a jazz guy. He's played the Jazz Hall of Fame. He can do those things. I'm pretty sure we can incorporate, something. While he's a guitarist as well, I'm pretty sure we can incorporate jazz into what we're doing. We're already doing jazzy syncopated rhythms anyway, so we can make that work.
Absolutely. And if you can play jazz piano, I'm sure you could probably pick up the walking bass line like it's nothing.
Yeah, I just got to practice it. I mean, I've been playing walking bass lines for about 3 weeks now, and I think I can do it, man. I'm just encouraged,
I
The
know you
people
can do it.
closest to me encourage me with that. My bandmates in particular, they really encouraging, and I'm hard on myself. I'm pretty sure there's times like, man, I know there's times I was like kind of freaking out. Man, I've only been playing this damn bass in this band for a month, and now we're gonna have a show. I was like, we need to practice more. We need to practice more. And those guys are like, you know what, Sprout, you're okay. You're gonna be fine. You've been putting in the time.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, hell yeah, okay. You're gonna be fine. And the first show I ever played bass, like 4 days before the show, I cut the tip of my finger off at work.
Ooh. Ouch.
So I'm on stage wearing a plastic thimble over a stitched up ring finger, and it's on the
I think I
fretting
remember
hand.
that.
So so that I much rather had it on my picking hand, but the fretting hand is just much worse, much worse.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
so I talked to my girlfriend, and I was like, so what do I do? She goes, can you wear a thimble? At first, I thought the idea was ridiculous, but I was like, you know what? Let me listen to it. She goes, they have plastic thimbles that are flexible. I'm like, really? So she sits there on her phone. She's, going through Amazon, or she's going on Joanne's website, the
Mm-hmm.
arts and crafts store. So that afternoon before the show, I drive all the way to Joanne's on the southeast side of town here in Tulsa, and I'm asking the clerk, hey, which one of these are more pliable? Which one of these are more flexible? Because I'm playing the bass and I need to go with a stitched up finger. And the lady goes, take these and good luck to you. But I got a 2-pack, and I told my lady, I was freaking out. I'm like, babe, this is like the first show I'm playing a bass. I'm worried about my finger. I'm worried about bleeding all over the place, which I wouldn't have cared, but I just wanted to do a good job. And I don't know why she's sentimental like this in this way. So to remember, for her to remember the one fucking time I was nervous about something, she kept the other thimble.
Nice. I like that. I love that. But that
Yeah.
just goes to show, though. It goes to show the dedication that we as musicians have when we want to go places. Do you have a thimble for a 6'7" man? I think they might have had one that night. It's like the only
Well, what's
two
funny?
available in the whole world. But
I
it shows the dedication.
actually had to.
It,
I actually had to take that thimble out so I could use it. I put it on. I put it. I slipped it over the edge of my like cannabis like pen, and it stretched out the thimble so I could wear it. Like
Had to stretch it out a little.
I had to stretch it out, man.
But you know, the second part of that came to mind when you telling us that story. When we overreact, overthink, overanalyze, and overworry.
All the
Have
fucking
you ever
time, and it makes me sick.
noticed? Do what?
People do that shit all the time, and it makes me fucking sick. What you see is what you
Yeah.
just saw. There's no explanation. What you heard, what you just heard. You know. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, but no. When we overanalyze and over worry about stuff, have you noticed that it seems to be that it's the other people that they're not immediately affected by this, whatever we are worried about. They're the ones who can come up with the answers, and they're the ones that can calm us down and actually make things work out.
Calm? What's that?
Or is that just me? Or is that just me that's...
You know what? You're right. You're right about that. There has not been very many people in this world that can be calm from anything. There's times in my life I was pretty much a nuclear reactor, especially when it comes to music and wanting to get something done. But over the years, I've toned down on that. Like in Wichita, we all have this work ethic. We all have this drive, and what it does for us, pretty much, is it keeps us on our toes with what we want to do, and it's with the music. It's no different from anybody else that really wants to do something. It's just a source.
Yeah.
Cody Dunning, can he sing a song before he leaves? Forward. You want me to play? I have to get my closet and get a guitar.
Yeah, he just wants you to sing something.
I know. Cody, I apologize. I didn't know I was going to be asked. I would have it out. I would.
Look, I got the drumsticks. I could do some tapping.
I wonder how that would sound over chat. Like you're tapping and playing a little rhythm. I wonder how that would come across in everyone's ears from two different places. Would it even be in sync? Would the latency be too noticeable? I'm not sure. And it's windy outside. Some motherfuckers are probably having a hard time watching this right now.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to go that route quite yet, but maybe we could see if we can get you and a couple other people. Maybe get Brandon Young to come in and drop some beats for us and let you sing.
So Brandon and I, one time, we did a song together that he released on Valentine's Day. I forgot what year it was. It was probably 2016, 2017, something like that. But I haven't been able to find it. I haven't heard it in a while. There's Brandon. Hey, Brandon. Well, thank you, Cody. I really do appreciate that.
Brandon was bragging about that the other night.
Oh, man. It was always fun working with Brandon. Brandon's a really cool dude. He's a real chill dude. There ain't nothing odd or strange about the guy. What you see is what you get. I love him for that. He's managed to, like I said earlier, here's a guy who's managed to duck his head and get into his work. You know what I'm saying? He knows what matters the most to them, or to him. He knows what matters the most. That's what he's stuck with, and it's worked for him. And I'm proud of him. Every time I see it, hey, I'm going here, I'm going there, this is coming out, I just fucking smile. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. That's how the fuck it's done. Goddamn right.
Say it louder. Say it louder.
Yeah. Say what?
I was just saying, say it louder.
Say what louder?
Well, you're just preaching. You said that sounds good. So I said, say it louder.
I mean, you got to put in the work, and you'll see growth. You think a bodybuilder is just going to go in there twice a week, lift 45 pounds, and expect results? I don't think so. You might see a little
No.
bit of results, but to get to where he really wants to be, he ain't gonna he gonna push himself. And that's what we all
Yeah.
need to do. That's what collectively helps the scene. You know, looking cute on stage and fucking having $high gear and all this other bullshit, man, that just makes you look okay. Man, I want to see the art. I want to see the soul. I want to see where that work is going. You know, that's what makes the scene collective. There's just too much drama and bullshit around here in Tulsa, to be honest with you. I don't hate Tulsa, but man, it could do better. Things could be better. I don't want to be a part of the problem. I do want to be part of the solution. I don't give a fuck about fashion. I don't give a fuck about where somebody's playing, who they're playing. I don't give a fuck about that. Let's collectively, like, you know, put shit together for our own respective bands. Come together with what we're building instead of what we're letting sustain and plateau. You know?
Yeah.
I don't see cover bands necessarily out here talking shit on each other. I don't.
No.
Probably because they're making money. I mean, if you're a touring musician like I was and, you know, going to these places, it didn't matter whether or not I liked the band that I was touring with. All that matters was that we're all in the same shoes. We're all out here trying to work. We're all out here trying to make a living.
Absolutely.
I can give a fuck if somebody thinks of my music. I'm out here making a living, and there's a whole bunch of people out there enjoying it. A living or a lifestyle I wouldn't be able to enjoy without the love of fans, without that kind of devotion. So hard work just totally pays off.
Yes. Amen.
I mean, it's literally driven me insane, the amount of work that I put into music, and I'm not rich. I mean, but I don't regret it, man.
You're
I
rich
don't
with
regret
friendships.
it, man. I'm rich with peace of mind. Man, I was able to do what I wanted to do in my life and be myself without having to
Absolutely.
compromise. You know, so many people, while they might be cool or whatever, or they might have some sort of lifestyle that's not of the norm, they still have to play the game of this fucking, you know, well, I can't say or do this, or people will look at me this way. I cook in a rough around the edges restaurant with a bunch of people who are just straight shit talkers and mean guys. You know, I mean, it's almost a reflection of the real world where I live.
Yeah.
It's not lemonade and brownies. It's not sunshine and roses. You know? Hey, Jeff, what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
man.
talking. Heather's talking. Hi, y'all. I see you guys in the comments.
What's going on? All right. See, hey, Santia,
Do what?
So Miss Santia, she is a local musician in Wichita, Kansas. She plays guitar and she sings. She's really good.
Nice.
Sister's got, man, that smile, man. That's enough to make any of them songs sound good. You know what I'm saying? She's a cool sister. It's crazy how many people I've seen, like, that I know that are from different places or in different places. Hey, what's up, Horace? Horace calls me Big Sexy. one time, like, he busted out with some shit. I just fucking died. He said, "Sprout, you're Big Sexy. You're also the BBC." I was like, "What?" He goes, "Best collective banging." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, oh, man. I thought you were gonna say British Broadcasting Network. I mean, oh well. But yeah, just the work. The work is what drives me. I love working on music. Now that I'm older, a lot of the people I'm playing with are older, and they have lives and careers and children and pets and mortgages and responsibilities that we all have to have. So we just can't put stuff down and go on book ourselves a 2-3 month tour. We just can't do that. Would I want to do that again? I'll go out for 2 weeks at a time. When I was in Kingfisher, we were pretty much consistent on the road for about 3 years. But before that
Wow.
3 years, we were playing every freaking weekend out of town somewhere. But once again, there's that work I was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know,
And the sacrifice that's made.
That's it.
Work
know,
and sacrifice.
And let me tell you about that sacrifice, man. That ain't no joke.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
I can't even tell you what I've sacrificed in my life just to be able to do what I wanted to do. From my upbringing to the things that was given to me that was taken away, my own stupid mistakes sometimes. It's all sacrifice. Was everything that I achieved as a musician worth the sacrifice? Yes.
Absolutely.
A lot of it was torturous. But once again, what was more important for me was to be who I am without compromise, you know?
Yeah. Chuck Cooley was talking about that the other day about being who you are. And then you know, just like with what he said, you know, at a young age, you realize that, you know, wearing the funny little outfit with a little hat, flipping burgers all day, you know, welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. He doesn't want to take your order. He wants to be out there playing.
Goddamn right.
Yes. I 100% agree with him.
I agree with Chuck on that one.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I agree with him on that.
And, you know, I think Brandon probably agree with it too. Adneff's been through you know, he's gone through a lot. He's making himself, you know, a pretty good name. You guys have all made sacrifices. You've all put in the work. And you've made your choices.
That's it. That's it. A lot of people can't stand the bed they made that they have to lie in. If you're gonna,
you're the one who makes it.
If you're gonna lay in a messy bed,
you can't see it, right?
Right.
It's a small remote, not big.
Right. But yeah, sacrifice is a big deal. Don't expect the kind of rewards that others get when you don't put in the work and make the sacrifice. At this point in my life and career, as a musician, I really don't care if I get rich or famous at all. I just want to have fun playing. I want to play for people that are going to enjoy what I do and what the band does. I just want to have a life to where, with music, to where I'm just having a good time playing, and it's worth my while. I'm not gonna play for free every fucking day. You're serious? For years, I've been filling people's clubs with minimal payout. So yeah, you kind of gotta have to leave town. But
yeah, it's rough. You know, it was rough getting into doing sound equipment, and especially being behind the game, having just the simple fact of that, you know, I have analog versus digital has limited me on what I can do. It's just it's not, you know, it's not easy making that money. And you know, you do make more money when you get out of town. You make new fans.
I mean, a lot of it is business sense. You know, to expand on what you do, you got to expand your thoughts. I mean, you think cents, that's what you're going to get. You think dollars, that's what you're going to get. Now, how do you get those dollars? You know, you got to put yourself in a position to win. You got to put yourself in a position to get the best result. And once again, I guess as Pee Wee would say, today's secret word is work. So whenever you hear the word work, scream real loud. I mean, you know, like shit.
Work. Bad 4-letter word. We don't cuss on this channel. Damn it.
Oh shit. I've been drinking. I'm drinking beer. I got me some Maker's Mark sitting here that I didn't finish from Monday.
I love it. I love it. So putting in work to make that dollar, there's multiple ways you can get yourself out there. I'm going to throw in a different, instead of moving on from that list, we're going to throw one in. How about working social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube Shorts, posting, videos that were taken at, live events, set up a couple of phones, old phones and GoPros and just, put yourself out there on social media, Instagram posts, TikTok stuff, getting yourself known that way. What do you think of that?
Right. I'm going to be honest with you. I fucking hate social media, but it's very necessary. A lot of people have the idea that if they get on social media or they get on Spotify or they get on YouTube, that they're going to not necessarily blow up, but see some kind of results. Like, the way it's done today gives people this incredible disillusion about how it's supposed to be. And if you basically, streaming sites use artists. Artists have to change their mentality. Look, we're not going to get rich from Spotify, so let's use them. At the very least, there's an outlet where somebody can find your music. The internet destroyed and helped a lot of things. The internet pretty much took a lot of power away from major labels. Well, of course, the musicians were jumping up and down for joy. But with that said, the musicians sitting there saying, "Oh, how do we market ourselves? How do we promote ourselves? How do we do what they were doing?" Okay, now you got to do the work yourself. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were back in the day, a label would literally put an A&R guy on an airplane, which costs money, flying out to whatever obscure club you might be playing in that weekend because that person heard you. And you might even be playing for 4 or 5 people. This is back in the day now. You might be playing for 4 or 5 people. There's an A&R guy sitting there. If he didn't like you, they probably just spent $3,000 sending a man across the country that isn't interested in you.
Yep.
Now,
so what do you do in that situation?
So now we have the power in our own hands via social media and other websites that would help promote and push music. But that work is not done by a label; it's done by the artist. So essentially, you're learning how to run a label. You're learning distribution. You're learning accounting. You're learning it all. But the more you work, the further you go, the more you learn. And that's what kept me going all these years. It's just like, man, what else can I find out? How else does this work? What else is going to happen if I make certain choices along this path? Music is not for the faint of heart. And there does come a point where the musician, when he's active and he's really out there, he's just going to stop dreaming. He knows he might be having fun, but he knows he needs to take it seriously.
Absolutely. And so I know some of this can be hot topics, especially that W word can be a hot topic. But without going into details regarding hot topics, such as politics, religion, or any other debatable hot topic, describe the morals of both you as Sprout and as the band.
I don't have morals. People look at me crazy when I say this, but morality is just a principle or an illusion that people like to throw at each other to make themselves better than somebody else. According to whose morals, whose standards? Look,
right?
Treat me good, I won't fuck you up. That's how I look at it. Respect garners respect. It's just the way it is.
100%.
I don't care about your morals. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your politics. Respect me, and I respect you. If
Yes.
one or the other doesn't happen, you got a problem. So I how that translates into bands, I'm kind of like Scarface. So there's a scene in Scarface. You've seen Scarface, right?
Oh yeah.
So there's a scene in Scarface where Tony Montana and Angel and Manolo walk up the stairs in that hotel room to sell cocaine to the Colombians. So Tony, not being an idiot, leaves the coke in the trunk. He goes up with his two homies, and the Colombian is there, and of course there's that ugly mean lady with the Uzi under the pillow. The Colombian is trying to make small talk, and Tony basically said, "Look, man, should I leave or come back and we can start over? If we can stop fucking around and do business, we'll become friends after we do business."
Yep.
I had that very same approach when I walked into the jam room with Horace and Brian and Eddie. Like, all right, you guys called me.
Right.
You guys are serious, right? Okay, let's get it in, right? Like I said, I was so uptight for like the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then I came out of my shell, you know.
Then
But
like, what the fuck were we thinking?
I just had that approach. Huh?
I said, then after that 3 or 4 weeks, you came out of your shell. All of a sudden, they're thinking, what the fuck were we thinking?
No, they were like, that's the guy,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. I had to do that, man. I had to. I didn't want to make them tense. They're probably gonna be like, after another week or two, they'll be like, man, this guy's an uptight asshole, you know, which I can't do. But you know, I'm pretty sure like if I didn't feel comfortable, they would have been able to tell it, and it wouldn't have meshed. But man,
Oh yeah.
these guys are so cool. These guys are so good, man. They're great people.
I can't wait to meet them sometime.
You know what? We got some shows coming up. One, I don't know if it's been announced yet, so I can't necessarily say, but I will say we played with this band before, and they're going to be back in Tulsa, and I can't wait to see them. And then we got invited to play Rock the Equinox. We submitted,
Yes.
and they
Congratulations.
accepted. I'm like, oh man, I've done the festival twice before. I was in a band called the Green Country Irate.
Yeah.
Couple of members of Machine in the Mountain, and I think Patrick is doing a Ghost tribute band now. And
Nice.
Mike Starkey, he was the original bassist for Screaming Red Mutiny.
Yeah, another band that you were in.
Oh yeah, I miss that band. We got some news coming for y'all soon, though.
Oh.
Just saying.
Oh. You got my attention.
Yeah. I know.
Where's that extra follow button?
Oh, last try. I told you I'm not going to say more than I should today, but
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. You're gonna slip.
No, so Anthony Hinton, Tony, he moved back to Tulsa last year. He was the drummer, and we had talked about possibly putting it back together. And I'm all for it. He just wanted to know if everybody was on board and was going to be committed to it, because it's going to be his last hurrah, you know. And he wouldn't do it unless Nick returned. And Nick, he took over bass duties when Mike Starkey left, and then he picked up guitar when John died. Nick's primary instrument is guitar, and he's a jazz player. Not very many people know that. He's a jazz player.
Nice.
Yeah, I just find these jazz musicians everywhere that are in metal bands. It's freaking crazy. But
yeah.
But he said if Nick does it, I'm in. I was like, okay. So I got a hold of Nick, and Nick is in. And I think we found a bass player. We just have to get together and organize some things, and then get to work. You know.
I can't wait to hear what happens. No, I know a jazzy bass player who can play piano too.
I think we found our bass player. So what connects us all pretty much is John Halata.
Okay.
And John Halata is a really good friend of mine. I mean, we were real tight. I mean, we saw each other like 2-3 times a week. We jam and practice. You know, that's more than what most bands do during the course of a week. But Royce Buckmaster, he was in the Joint Effect. He played bass at one point, and he played drums at one point.
Okay.
And so I find it to be fitting that he'd be a part of this too. And he said he's down for it. So like I said, it's just a matter of us getting into a room and getting that dry erase board, because that's how we did things.
Right. My fingers are crossed.
Right. And mapping it out. We do want to put out another single, you know. Probably
Let's
won't
go.
be until like later on in the year, but we do want to put out another single. We do want to play a show or two, you know.
If you go through with this, I think you'll have to actually officially have Tool be on album releases.
Oh man, I did Tool and album releases years ago.
You're welcome.
Oh man, yeah.
A great achievement for a great band.
Oh yeah.
Just took you a long time to write it.
Well, because it took so long, kind of like the Guns N' Roses record, The Chinese Democracy. Did you ever listen to that?
A little bit.
Okay, right. So that record took 10 years and $10 million. It's probably the most expensive record ever recorded.
Wow.
I didn't like it. I listened to it several times now. I know some people that like it after it grew on them, but it was not Guns N' Roses to me. But it was like that. Chinese Democracy was much like Fear Inoculum to me. They took so damn long to put that record out. It was just so uneventful for me. I smoked weed and damn near took a nap after like the second or third song. This track's so long. It was a long song.
Oh. So here's a good one. You've mentioned names throughout this whole interview. We all have people who influence us. It doesn't matter, what it is, whether it's music related, just straight up life. We all have people who influence us. Who are your influences as both an individual and as an artist? I ask deep questions,
No, that's a good question. As a person, I'm going to be honest, I did not have much guidance on being a decent human being. I was raised by people who wanted to give the illusion of decency while chaos existed in their household. So I grew up in an environment where I didn't know who to trust, where I didn't know what I was worth. I didn't know if I had anything to offer the world. I'm a 13-year-old kid thinking about suicide.
Yeah.
I get to high school, and I joined the track and field team my junior year of high school. I also played basketball in high school for the first time that year as a junior. And my coach, his name is Steve Crosley, that man means so much to me. He taught me how to be a gracious winner and a humble loser. I remember when I tied Antoine Carr's record. Like, Antoine Carr used to be a professional NBA player. He played for the Atlanta Hawks. He played for the Utah Jazz. He played for a couple of teams over the years. But he was a graduate of Wichita Heights High School, where I went. And I tied his high jump record, and it was at a state championship track meet.
Wow.
And I just remember, Coach, he never yelled at me. He always explained things to me in a way I could understand them. And he's a man that I'm sorry, man. I'm emotional talking about this dude because,
You're good.
man, he's great. He's great. Like, I remember he wasn't even thrilled when I did well. That's what's crazy about it. He wasn't mad or nothing, but he was like, "Oh, you tied the record. Do it again."
I love
He
the
was just so
attitude.
good. I never worked so hard for a man who encouraged me and gave me the tools that I needed to be successful in what I was trying to do. He was with me absolutely every step of the way. Like he's just that dude, and he's reached other people like me, even people he's worked with. Like, they cherish this man. Steve Crosley, coach, he's a good man. I love him. He retired a few years ago, and we had a surprise retirement party for him. And a classmate of mine, he lives in Wichita. He got a hold of me and told me he was doing this film for his retirement, and he rented out the theater at this spot called the Exploration Place in Wichita. He rented out the theater to show this movie. The coach showed up thinking that it was going to be a sneak preview of the new Spider-Man movie. Well, so after the movie was over, which was 45 minutes, and the lights came on, and he turned around and looked at the audience, because when he walked in, it was dark. He couldn't see anyone. And he looked up, and the first person he sees is me. He goes, "What?" He said, "Here's my way." Like, whatever little patience I do have today, that man taught me. Whatever grit that I do have, when I need to dig deep down inside to go through muck and hell, that man instilled in me. He gave me, I had to learn resilience in the worst of ways, but he taught me how to deal with resilience in another way, a more gentler way. He's still alive, he's still around. He's just a good man, and he's the best thing that ever happened to young me. He is.
I want to give him a good shout out. Thank you, good sir, for raising such a wonderful person.
Man, for real, I'm not the only one, too. I'm not the only one. This man has touched a lot of lives, man. A lot of lives. He's good people.
Oh, yeah.
Good people. I talk to him on a regular, even on social media, like, "Hey, coach, how you doing?" I tried to bring him to Tulsa for Joe Bonamassa, but he couldn't make it. He had to spend time with his daughter. She just had a baby and things like that, so he couldn't leave. So I tried to get him a Joe Bonamassa ticket. I say, "Hey, bro, I'll pay for your ticket and your hotel room, man. If you want to go." He's like, "Oh, man." Oh, I was like, "Yeah, he already made plans, so it was no big deal." But I saw Joe Bonamassa anyway.
It'll happen sometime. It'll happen.
Yeah.
I'll manifest it right now. It'll happen.
You know,
so
the joke between me and him is like, when are you gonna play some gigs that's not after my bedtime? Oh man, he's an old man. Hey, what's going on?
So, you said he had said right at the beginning of your story about this coach, you said that he said something about winning and losing. What were those words again? It was really, really simple.
Well, I mean, I mean, this is the way I put it. He didn't say anything specific, but he taught me how to be a gracious winner and a humble loser. Because
A gracious winner and a humble loser.
I was a high jumper. And when I lost, I was hard on myself. But I had to look at the guy that beat me and shake his hand. So I learned a lesson in sportsmanship, athletic camaraderie. I learned that. There's a level of diplomacy involved in athletics too.
Yes.
And so he showed me that.
I'm glad you had somebody as such.
Now musically,
so you've been in the music industry long enough. What do you look for when it comes to managers, producers, and promoters? Say
That's
it.
a good one.
As a musician, say it. We want to hear it.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just going to look at the camera and tell you all this now. If you're a local band with a manager, why? All you need to do is do what everybody else does. Make some telephone calls, show up to shows, talk to people, rub some elbows, you know, do your thing. You don't need a manager. Like you're that fucking busy. What? Are you getting telephone calls at work for gigs that you need a manager? Really? Okay, great. Fine. It makes you look professional. Oh, call this girl who we think is hot so she can book the show. Man, fuck that. You only need
Right?
a manager when you've got work that you can handle on your own. That's it. Trust me, I've been in the industry. That's how it is. Once King
Yeah.
Shifter, so once we started touring, we needed more because we managed ourselves. We didn't need a fucking manager. People, we touring all over the place. People are like, who's your manager? Like, we don't have one. We have a booking agent. You want us to play? You can call our booking agent. If you want to talk to the management, I'm standing right fucking here. Kink's standing right fucking here. Derek's standing right fucking here. And Dave is below my knee, but he's standing right fucking here. You know, he's a shit. Right? Anyway, I mean, we manage ourselves all over the country. It doesn't matter if you learn your lessons, you make your mistakes, and you go on. Like King Shifter was so punk rock. It was so DIY in that aspect that people couldn't believe we weren't getting help from labels or whatever. Like, man, we didn't have it like that. It was just our
No.
looks and our balls. That's all we had out there.
Yeah, that's
all
you
we
look
had
at
out there.
you look at people like Toby Keith and all these others that they had to bust their ass and play those 4-person shows where that executive flew out to see their show, see what they just spent that
Exactly.
$3,000 on. They busted their
Exactly.
ass in front of those 4 people so they could try and make an impression on that label. They didn't have TikTok and overnight hits where they're got 1 million followers overnight. You guys didn't have all that back in the day.
No. So I'm a part of a generation of musician that pretty much saw the transition from the old school to the new, from
Yeah,
analog to digital. Saw
yeah,
all of it. And like, it was crazy because like at a certain point in my career, like King Shifter, that was literally the tail end of the old school. We managed to do it the old-fashioned way by hitting the road, getting on the phone, making flyers, even though social media was still going. Because we're all old fucks, except for me. I've always been the youngest guy in every band I've been in, with the exception of recent years. You know, I was a band full of old fucks, man, and that's all they knew how to do. And I learned from them. And what they showed me was hella resourceful. That stuff still works today. That stuff will never go out of style. Flyers, it'll never go out of style. I learned a lot about the business and a work ethic from that era. Now it's just as simple as sitting behind your keyboard, sending an email to. You're not face to face with people. You're not interacting with them. You're not personable anymore. You're just a
yep.
band name with a flyer now. That's what's bad. You know, if people feel compelled to check out your music, great. But you know, it's hard. It's harder now than what it was just 10 years ago. Harder, way harder. You know, it's a big swimming pool full of shit, and you got to swim to the other side. And then when you get to the other side, they're going to tell you your effort wasn't good enough. You know, something will tell you your effort isn't good enough until it reaches that level. I can't
Yep.
tell you how many
So,
bands I've been in where we collectively sat down like, how are we going to level up? We're not sitting there talking about just having fun. How the fuck are we leveling up? You know,
right
I
there.
don't see too many bands sitting there like that anymore. They're comfortable with being the best fucking band in Tulsa. They're comfortable with being the best band in Wichita. They're comfortable with being the best awesome band in Kalamazoo, Michigan. They're happy with that shit. Let them, you know? They're enjoying music. But if you really want to level up, you can't think that way. I remember
No.
I stopped thinking locally a long time ago. And Kink, the guitar player, King Shifter, he put it in my head. And there was something I thought about. He goes, man, we're out here now. There's no reason to really care about what's going on at home when what's going on here is going to help us more. Now, we wouldn't be able to do what we've done without the help and support of our local crowd in Wichita, because they cheer for us the hardest. But in order for us to keep going and make the progress our people back home wanted us to make, they know we needed to focus out there, and they were very supportive in that. This thing here in Tulsa is not used to that. Everybody's a fucking superstar and everybody's fucking cute, you know?
Yeah.
But they do have a sense of camaraderie among them. You know, they do. I never really claimed to be part of Tulsa scene. I never have. That doesn't matter to me. I'm just an artist. I don't have any allegiances. I don't have any I don't have a clique. Never did. You know? I don't have a group of people that fucking like me. You know?
Well,
I never cared about any of it. But
there's a lot of people that I know, they absolutely adore you. Not just like you, but they adore you.
oh man, and I know those folks.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I know I'm sitting here talking hella weird about some things, but there are those people I still have really close relationships just by being in the trenches with them. You know, they're not just musicians. These are people I'm still close with my second ex-wife. We're still friends. She knows the trenches I was in. You know what I'm saying? Like, she knows what I had to do to be who I needed to be. And we talked about that a couple years ago. But I do have meaningful relationships in my life with people and other musicians. I don't want anybody to fail, but they'll come out here thinking you're doing your best when I know what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on.
Yeah. Now, if you wanted to see him
saying that
fail,
my band is the best.
if you wanted to see him fail, you wouldn't be. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say real quick, if you wanted to see him fail, you wouldn't be telling him to put in that W word.
Right. A lot of people think when I talk like this, people think I'm being an asshole. Like, you know what?
You're not.
I'm not telling you this because I'm an asshole. I'm telling you this because I fucking love you. I don't want to I don't want to see you disillusioned. I don't want to see you play yourself. When somebody's trying to turn you on to game, peep it, listen. Like there's just too much going on. There's too many people getting taken advantage of in the business with the clout and the way they have made. You know, you want to go back to managers, promoters, and things like that. Man, it's in that aspect, it's worse than it's been before. You know.
Yeah.
There's a festival here in Oklahoma, and I'm not gonna give too much detail because, man, I really don't want to have to argue and check the motherfucker over it. So I'm just gonna give a really light version of it.
Okay.
This particular person has a venue area putting on a festival and is charging outrageous fucking amounts of money to play with acts that don't even fucking draw anymore, and in some cases never did. I'm talking about, let's just give a ballpark number, $600, okay? You know what a band can do with $600?
A band could do a lot with $600.
A band you got goddamn right. A band can do a lot with $600 fucking dollars. They can record some singles. A band could record some singles. A band could actually, you know what? A band with $600, a band could actually buy on to 2 shows on a real fucking tour. People buy into tours all the time. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, ugh, it just makes me sick how some of these people take advantage because they don't want to spend the money. For a lot, I played a lot of shows, and the ones I've hated the most is where basically the bands and artists are fitting the fucking bill. I hate it, and it's like, man, the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
You can blacklist me, and I'm still gonna be fucking here. Are you serious? Like exposure?
Yeah. I mean, I do
These are
have the ones that's like, yeah, all we want is just exposure out of this. You know, we're not looking for money. They're out there having a good
well,
time.
if they need the exposure, they need the exposure. But a lot of us do not. A lot of us do not. A lot of
Right.
us have tried and true and proven. We shouldn't have like there's a certain level you shouldn't have to pay out it. You shouldn't have to pay out anymore at all.
No,
Now
you
I
didn't.
remember being like King Shifter. We bought onto a couple of tours. I guarantee you, we got more out of that $600 in one show. We
Absolutely.
also made a shit ton of money on merchandise. We were prepared. We were set up. You know, we set ourselves up. We managed ourselves. We knew what we wanted. We knew what it was. We knew what it took. You know,
Yep.
but I think they ask too much out of bands these days. And I understand why a lot of venues are going to what I call free entertainment, which is I know bars back home that own the karaoke machines, and they just pay a guy, a regular, to come in there, free beer, to run karaoke that night.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. You know,
Just
there's a lot of fucking talent in Tulsa. There's a lot of
yes,
talent
there
that
is.
deserves to be compensated, talent that
Yes.
feels bad. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and we get treated like that. You know, we get treated like that. I don't like it. I hate having shit myself, to be honest with you. But sometimes there's certain opportunities that's just what you need to do. You know, I hate it. I don't like that it's like that, but that's how it is. And I'm just really fed up with that.
And that's why I want you to talk about it, get it out there. If it needs
And
exposed, it needs exposed.
I don't hate these people doing business. I don't. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sucker born every fucking minute. If they're the
Yep.
market, take advantage of that mark. They're just gonna do that. And I hate being a mark, man. I just want bands to be treated fairly. I want
Absolutely.
I want bands that fill bars to get their due.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just want that. I'm not, you know, there's probably venues in the area or anywhere else that might do that because they care that much. And I know bars have to keep their doors open. You know, I know
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely. Business.
I mean, a band's not going to play at a bar that they don't like. We don't
No, they're not.
have to play anywhere. So when we fill your bar, man, help us. You know, there's things that are fair, like the door. The door's fair. You know, if you
Mm-hmm.
can pack people in there, if you got it like that, hell yeah, we'll take the door. That's cool. Let's do that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, then there's some places where you might get a percentage of the bar. Okay. And a lot of people drink in the fucking parking lot anyway, so who knows how much that might be at the end of the night. So, you know, it's kind of that way in some places. But,
Oh, yeah.
you know, that's fair. If you bring the people in and they drink, it's going to help you. I think that's fair. But to have large
Absolutely.
acts come in and the band fit the bill, I hate that. I hate that. If they
Pay to
give you the
play.
opportunity to make money on top of that, I'm cool with that too. I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'll do my part here, but we gonna get ours. You know, I like that. I know Strength and Agony. We're that badass selling tickets.
Yes.
We're that badass selling tickets. We ain't worried about shit. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, we're tired of it. We're tired of it. You know,
You guys all
so
are.
these same people are gonna come to the damn show anyway. is just uh, frustrating. Like I said, I don't hate the players. I just hate the game sometimes. I never hate the players. Like, you serious? I ain't mad at the man going out there and getting his cheddar. Like I said, there's a sucker born every minute. There's marks walking all over the place. There's wallets of pigtails all over the damn place. I know why to do it. You know, if you find your niche where you can get that hustle going, that's where it is. You know? I
So
never saw
you're
people
there
sit
for
up there right now today like, what the fuck? This dude is off his rocker. Probably, you know, but
he's talking about that, you know, you're there for your fellow musicians and you'll support them, but there's a difference between supporting them and then supporting that promoter that, as a friend calls them, the billionaire mindsets. Doesn't mean you have to go support them.
well,
not the bands, the promoter.
Right. It just depends on, honestly, titles mean certain things in this instance. Now, every promoter is different. I've known a shit ton of good ones, okay? I've known a shit ton of good ones. Steve Murdoch, hey, what's up? You still around? Yeah, I know some good-ass promoters. But there's some janky motherfucking promoters out there, too. You know, Tony Parker's a good one. There's good promoters out there, okay? But there are those janky motherfuckers, all right?
Yes.
And what are they doing to promote? What are they doing to promote? You know, like
booking the band,
signing a contract for them to show up. Is that what you're doing? You know,
pretty much.
I remember riding with Steve Murdoch one. Man, that man beat the streets. You hear me? Like,
yes, he does.
He did his job. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, that's a motherfucking promoter. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he wanted to happen, he was gonna make happen. You know, that's just the way it was. You know.
That's where it's got to be.
He's off somewhere in some beautiful tropical paradise right now. Living his best motherfucking life.
But yeah, it just comes down to if they're not going to be, you know, who you appreciate and who you would want on, you know, working with you, why offer them any kind of support at all? You know, kind of like that next question that I have on the list about what do you look for in studio or recording studios? You know, if it's not somebody that you like their business practices with, you're not going to go use them, right?
Right. And a lot of the time in studios, business practices are kind of even hidden from the clients. I mean, all you know is you're showing up there and you're being set up, you're setting your stuff up, and you know everything's being mic'd, and you know you track your music, and when you're done tracking, the guy makes it. You don't know the inner workings of things. Like, the price is the price. Now,
Yes.
I'm an old school guy that's progressive. I like modern things. I'm not stuck on nostalgia when it comes to recording. Like, most of the things that people are screaming about as far, like, people don't like backing tracks. People don't like samples. Man, they're just merely tools. I mean, come on.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, they're just simply tools. Use them if you want. If you don't, shut the fuck up. Jesus, let people make their music. Let them do what they want to do. You know?
Right. But then when people don't change things up, when they don't change things up, it's like it's old.
Track. Right.
What? Yeah, it's old. Why don't we change things?
It's like, if you want to tell somebody that they're not authentic because they use backing tracks, I guarantee you a band that doesn't use backing tracks, I can find a list twice as long of reasons why they are authentic. You know what I'm saying? It's that mind frame. I just can't stand that shit. Do what you do. Make it sound good. The people like it. They like it, man. Like, I just the music police. Like,
or
stupid. Hi, Jenny.
How about some of those that don't want to use click tracks?
Click tracks are great. I can't tell, like, I don't mind a click track, especially if you're playing groove. Okay,
Yeah.
like,
Or church.
I'm right. I'm cool with people, like, I'm cool with the people that think, oh, the song has to breathe. Well, nigga, if the song is 69 beats a minute and you want to speed it up to 180, it ain't gonna be fun. Like, it's gonna be like, what the hell is going on? Is our drummer on dope? That's it. That's just what they think half the time, man. I've watched this shit. Like, oh, it's fasted. I mean, I expect that shit out of Dillinger Escape Point, which I love. But man, if you're playing some groove, just play that shit right. If you can't keep it steady, use a click. If you can't use a click, do something. Just do something. Just don't sound all fucking shit. You know, like.
Thank you.
That's that's why I'm so hard on myself. I talk this way to myself while I'm playing bass. You hear me? Like, I want to do a good job. You know, I don't want to be a slouch. I don't want to half-ass anything.
I like that.
You know, it's not everyone's a superstar in their own mind. Not even me, man. Like, I'm not a superstar. I'm just a regular ass motherfucker with.
You know, that's the same here. You know,
I'm passionate about this. I get insulted when people make light of this shit. I get offended when people talk to me about being a musician and thinking of being a musician in terms of dollars an hour. You know what I'm saying? I just hate talking with those people all the time. Oh, you're a musician. How much do you make a year? Well, fuck off. It ain't like that. It ain't like.
I play jazz. I don't make anything.
So what?
I said I play jazz. I don't make anything.
Right, you know, like jazz musician, like now here in Tulsa, some jazz musicians make a killing on corporate gigs. If you need a hook up, I got you after the show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know some people. You make some change, girl. Play them drugs. Corporate gig, yeah, man. I know some people travel to Oklahoma City all the time. There's people that do. I know some people that play from Wichita. They play corporate events in Fayetteville. You know, I know people that play jazz festivals. Like I just know these people. Like I've been to a lot of places and met a lot of people.
A lot of talented people.
Man, there's just an overabundance of talented people. You know.
I don't know about overabundance.
Oh no! It's an overabundance here in Tulsa. Tulsa's never had like a shit ton of shitty musicians. Even the lowest grade musician in Tulsa is pretty okay, pretty decent. You know, I can sit there and listen to him. You know, I'll give him that props. You know, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad.
Yep.
You know, it ain't that bad where I'm from, man. Like, it's creative. It's not even about skills. It's what you put out there. You know. I mean,
It's about your story being heard.
Yeah, by all accounts, some people think the Ramones weren't even worthy enough to be called musicians. But you know what? It wasn't about being a musician, really. It was about that attitude. You know, they stole an attitude. That's what it was, man. I see a lot of fake tough guys out there. Those guys from Queens, yes, they were tough.
God. You want to think you're tough, go join a jazz band back in the 50s and 60s.
Yes, you're going to have a pistol in your guitar case. You get all that shit. You're going to have heroin in your heel, all that. Yeah.
You're going to have that heroin stashed away in your trumpet case.
I'm glad heroin isn't as big a thing anymore in jazz as it used to be. That's killed a lot of people. Like,
yes.
I think heroin's killed more jazz musicians than rock musicians. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
Jazz is
like Miles Davis, like I mentioned.
Huh?
Like Miles Davis, like I had mentioned.
Did you ever see that movie Miles Ahead?
I think so.
Yeah, Don Cheadle plays Miles Davis in the movie. And it's basically a biopic of his life. It was really good. Really, really good.
I did some studying on Miles Davis when I was younger, so I love these jazz musicians that we no longer have. Benny Goodman, and then like his drummer Gene
Oh,
Krupa.
man.
For anybody that plays drums,
Uh-huh.
you need to give
Well,
Gene
you're in.
Krupa a thank you.
Okay.
He's the one who gave us tunable drum heads.
That's right. Like, there's so many things that were invented by like people that we kind of take for granted every day.
Yeah. Every time we turn that light switch on, we spend that $100.
Yep. Now, as a jazz musician, I've just been a weed smoker and alcohol drinker. I tried heroin once when I was 17. I got the sweats, I threw up, and I took a 6-hour nap and said I didn't want any more of this shit once I got shot in the kneecap.
Okay.
Like, I'm not a fan of that.
No.
That's my one experience with heroin. No way. That's not for me, man.
Well, like I'll tell my therapy team, I joke with them so more than I should. I'll sit there and tell them, cocaine is fun, but it's not worth that money.
No, I already know that, man. My tenure with cocaine was extremely short, and I was young, man. You know what I'm saying? It was extremely short.
I took some in
remember.
Oklahoma. Took some in
Oh yeah.
Oklahoma a couple years ago and turned into a hot dog.
Oh damn. Damn, for real?
You have to go check out the Facebook page. I'll send it to you.
Okay. Man, I saw my son watching a while ago. I don't know if he's still here.
Well, if not, it'll be available afterwards.
Oh no, my son's cool, man. He cool. My son's good, man. Mickey, if you're still around, I love you, kiddo. I love you, kiddo. I'll call you later. For real, I'll call you later.
I love that. So,
my son has gone knocking for a little bit.
So I know you talked a lot about the promoters and the issues going on within that community. What about venues? What do you look for in venues? And is there anything that you can elaborate, either good or bad?
Well, I can't really necessarily say anything bad because the things I thought were bad actually improved. And, some businesses actually took it upon themselves, to improve. So I really don't have any problem with it. Anybody that I know that had, like, the biggest complaints that I hear from the average showgoer are is smoking, like cigarette smoke in the club. Like, I used to smoke cigarettes. Now I don't have a problem with it.
No.
Bars are the last bastion of adult spaces that we have in this country. A grown-ass motherfucker can go into a bar and smoke a cigarette. If people don't like smoking, you can make a non-smoking bar. You don't have to have entire districts. I mean, just leave it up to the businesses. If you want to have a non-smoking bar, have a non-smoking bar. I don't like being. If I were a business owner, I would hate to be dictated by a district policy. I would hate that. I would hate that kind of control. I'm a grown man. I want other grown men and grown women to come into my club and light up a cigarette if they want to, even though I don't smoke anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's not about you.
No, it's not about me. It's about the customer. Now, just because everybody else hates smoking, which the only people talking shit about smokers are non-smokers. Smokers don't give a fuck. They gonna smoke. You know what I'm saying? There's no shortage of cigarette smoking.
If you have anything to say about all that, you can go find them at the casino.
Yeah. I mean,
sit next to the smoker.
Right. They're not going to the non-smoking section. They're sitting next to the smoker at the casino.
Well, no, they're not going to the non-smoking section because that's not where their machine is at. It's right next to that guy smoking those nasty cigarettes.
Not where their machine is at. And plus, it takes forever to get a drink in the non-smoking section. Trust me, I know this. It
I
takes
used to work in
forever
a
to get a drink.
casino.
Oh, okay. So you know firsthand. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, if you could play any one show with any artist or at any venue, even if it is not obtainable, with who or and where would it be?
Oh man,
Any artist, any venue, obtainable or not.
that's honestly a really tough one because I like so much. You know, like I'm not limited to the things that I love, especially music. It's just a really tough one for me. Like there's artists and bands of all genres that I could name and I wouldn't be wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The Real
Oh
Pantera,
man.
Timothy.
So somebody asked me if I were on an island, what 3 records would I have? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what I answered, but I do remember saying Snot's Get Some some years ago. Hey, that record's still badass. It still holds up. You know, it's a good record.
Wait
Check
a minute,
it
is that
out.
on YouTube?
Oh yeah, Get Some by Snot. It's good. Snot reformed with a new vocalist recently. I
Okay.
think I just saw a European UK tour announcement today.
Hold on. You said what again?
Snot reformed with a new singer, and they just announced a UK European tour.
Nice. I hope that. Okay. Yeah, I just found him on YouTube. I'll definitely have to listen to him later.
Yeah, Lynn Straight. He passed away. He was the original vocalist. Um, one of the guitar players went on to Seven Dust after Clint Lowery left. He went on to Dark New Day with his brother, and then Lynn Straight died in a car crash with his dog in 1998.
Wow.
But yeah, that was some groovy stuff.
Yeah.
That's some groovy stuff. A lot of
So I'm
fun.
assuming that he's up there jamming with a lot of other greats then.
Oh,
Especially people
man,
like John Halata. I bet he's up there jamming with John.
John's kicking it with Prince right now.
Yeah.
John Halal always we love Purple Rain. Purple Rain was John's favorite movie, and so we would recite. Of course, we're old, you know. We've seen that movie a million times, and we would just out of the blue just start quoting lines. And one time before the show, me and John Tony was looking at me and John. And he's like, "Are y'all ready?" And me and John look at Tony and go, "Let's go, baby! Let's go!" Funny. It was funny. I was like, hold on. I was like, hold on, John. I'm gonna go cleanse myself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka before we get on stage. He goes, what? So I gotta take a piss, man. Just so many
John is
fun
missed by a
memories
lot
with
of people.
Oh my God, yeah. He's known other people longer by far, but I spent a
Yes.
lot of time with him in the 5 years, 6 years I did know him. You know, like a lot of time. I knew what he thought about a lot of things. I knew how he felt about a lot of things. I knew what was most important to him because that's what we talked about. You know, he was a reminder. He was a reminder of myself when I was younger, before the industry got its claws in him. He still had that innocence to him. He still had that. He still had that humility to him. You know, that was something that was important for me to be around at that time. You know, and no matter what, I always had his back. If he was hungry, I got that nigga some tacos. You know what I'm saying? Let's go get something to eat.
Right.
I get off
Right.
work at 1 in the afternoon. He'd show up at my house with a dime bag of weed, and we're smoking the whole thing. And I was like, John, we ain't gotta smoke the whole dime bag. He's like, oh no, it's all good. I'm like, damn kid, I'm high. I'm like, he was a smoker. Yeah, he smoked some weed. Like, damn, look at that guy. But he was just so humble and so chill. And all he wanted to do was, you know, be a touring musician and live out his dream. And just when he was starting to do that, he got his life taken away. You know, I just hate that. I hate that.
Yeah.
His wife, Casey, you know, she's good today, but she ain't gonna be the same.
No.
You know, their
Never.
son's not gonna be the same. You know, I just miss him. Like, when good people are no longer here, it just throws shit out of whack so bad. It just throws shit out of whack so bad. The universe
It really does.
is totally unfair to me. You know, I got a friend in Wichita. He was a club owner. I've known that kid since he was 21 years old. You know, his mama ran clubs, and so eventually he got his own bar. So we kind of cut our teeth together in business. Me as a musician and him as a bar owner. And he passed away a few years ago. He was hit on his motorcycle.
Ooh.
Hit and run on his motorcycle. It killed him. And in fact, it killed the entire city. You know what I'm saying? Because we all loved him. He was a good guy. Kenny Ballinger was his name. He had a wife and a son. And he was just a good man.
So I got to figure it out for you then, the answer to that question. You'd be playing you'd book a show with John Holata to play at your buddy's club.
Say again?
I said you'd be playing a show with John Holata at your buddy's club.
You know what? That sounds like fun. I'll see him when I get there.
No. We got to bring them back. We got to bring them back for that one unattainable show.
Man, it'd be pissed as hell if I brought them back. They can keep it out. He's like, oh shit! Like, I'm sure there'd be things he want to do over there. I'm pretty
just
sure
for one night, I promise.
All right,
one
yeah,
night.
they'd be cool.
One night.
They'd be cool one night. They'd be cool one night. Yeah, Monica, I'm smoking herb and having a little liquor, but I am tired, to be honest with you. I'm not sleepy by any means, but I am tired.
Insomnia here, so.
Oh man, it's the worst, ain't it?
It is.
I get one bout of insomnia for about a month and a half every year, like clockwork. Like, it's like you're not supposed to sleep for this month and a half.
Yep.
I don't do no drugs. I don't eat many things. I don't do a whole bunch of caffeine. I have 1 cup of coffee a day, and that's it. But just for some reason, insomnia. Hate not being able to sleep.
I hear you. And what really sucks, where I have the medicine, and I'm asked every doctor's appointment, are you taking your medicine? It's like, if I go to bed soon enough, yeah. But on those nights that I take my medicine, I'm out. The next couple of nights, I just, unless I'm just tanking up on more meds, it just, no sleep. I think we haven't been to Brooklyn recently enough. No sleep till Brooklyn.
Right. I mean, I remember being prescribed trazodone years ago, and it didn't do me any good. I was obviously sleepwalking.
I did that on Seroquel.
When my wife was screaming at me for making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and leaving the milk out on the counter in the middle of the night, I knew it was time to do something else.
Yeah.
I was not going to, be okay.
No, once you hear those stories, it's scary.
Of course, like I made a whole ass sandwich and a glass of milk. I didn't know what I was doing. What else could I have done in the middle of the night with me not knowing? You know, I was scared. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I packed a pack of cigarettes and couldn't find my lighter and just carried on a mumbling conversation, decided to go take a bath. Next thing I know, I wake it up 2 hours later, not in the bath, I was in bed. And the person that was living here was like, "Oh, you're up again." No.
Yep.
Yeah. That's kind of scary. I get it.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm really wired. I work double sometimes, so like it takes a while to wind down. Like
It does.
at my absolute worst, I'm drinking alcohol, you know, to go to sleep. I got off work early and I didn't have a bad day, but I'm sick of this one dude's attitude and I got to go home early. And I'm okay with that. Like, fine. I had to do drinking another one.
You know who that reminds me of, right? Kind of reminded me of Ricky and the Breadstick.
Oh man.
That new guy. That's what you said, right? A new guy?
Yeah. So, you know, I work in the kitchen and, you know, we're hard on each other in that place. That's just kitchen life. That's just the environment.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, if you've been to a restaurant and the food tastes like trash, I guarantee you everybody in the kitchen is nice. I promise you that. Everybody, if you go to a restaurant, the food is terrible, and the food is terrible, it's because the people working in it are nice. Like,
Yeah.
that's the difference over the years I noticed. But
That's some good insight.
I mean, haven't you ever tasted food that tasted like the person that cooked it didn't have any tattoos? I mean, isn't it obvious?
Hold on.
I mean, no.
Now you got me thinking.
Right?
Damn it.
I'm just kidding. I'm playing. I'm a clown tonight. I'm a clown.
I'm going to be looking for those tattoos now.
Hey, every now and then I poke my head out there and they see my septum, like, oh my God. I hope this is good. Like, you know it's going to be good, bro.
When the guy pops the door open, I see that it looks like the guy that used to scream for Screaming Red Mutiny. I'd be like, hell yeah, now we're going to have a good dinner.
Well, okay, so the best part of my job all week was Monday. I was working during lunch, and somebody that taught me in elementary school, second grade, came into the restaurant and asked for me. Her name is
Really?
Gregory Anderson. Yes, no joke. She's like, does Greg Manuel work here? And the floor manager goes, yeah. Like, do you know him? Like, yeah, I'm from Wichita, Kansas, and like, I watched this kid grow up. He's like, really? You know, like, because I'm in Tulsa and nobody cares about me.
Right? Stalker.
And, yeah, so they ordered steaks. I cook their food. And I bring it out to them, and I took a selfie with her and her husband. It was so nice, man. It's just it's amazing when you go back and you think. When I think back about those people have been nice to me since the '80s. The '80s, like incredible. Like just know somebody that long, and then be nice to you. They are different from me, obviously. Seen them or met them, but man, they've always been good to me. I went to school with their daughters too, and we're still friends. She came, like her oldest daughter came up a few weeks ago, and we had dinner. I had dinner with her and her husband. You know,
Oh, nice.
just yeah, like people I've known all my life, literally. People
Brings back old
here in
time memories.
Oklahoma don't know me. They got They got 12 years stories and liars stories. People that think they know me, you know, it's like, geez.
It's the ones you don't want to introduce to your new friends.
Hey, anybody that I consider a friend, they would normally make up their own mind. Me, I know
Right.
crap out there. I know garbage. And trust me, I know it's good to know low people in high places. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the world ain't smooth. The world ain't kind sometimes. You know, it is competitive.
It is. Who are we competing against? Within the local music industry, who are we competing against to make it a competition?
So earlier when I was talking about where I'm from, the Wichita scene, at that time, there's competition. Like, we saw each other as competition. We liked each other. We partied with each other. We hung out at each other's houses, barbecues, all that stuff. But we were competitive. It's what made us better. It's what made us better. It's not that it was competition to be dominant. It wasn't even so much as to see who was even more skilled. Who could do the coolest shit? That's what it was in Wichita, Kansas. It's still like that.
And it pushed you to do that cool shit.
Yeah, do the cool shit, man. Do something different. Make it work. You know, that's Wichita. We're the last to do anything. You know, Tulsa has a music culture. Wichita, Kansas doesn't. Like, Wichita, Kansas, we might have Martina McBride. You know, we might have Kirstie Alley. You know, she's dead. We don't have much of a music culture to speak of. So a lot of our creativity and a lot of our influence is grassroots, from the heart, from the mind.
Yep.
You know, sometimes we got music a year or two late before the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, first time I ever saw No Effects was in Lawrence, Kansas. Nobody stopped in. Wichita, Kansas is the largest city in Kansas. And for so many years, it was a flyover state. They were like, why would we play Wichita, Kansas when we can play Oklahoma City or Kansas City?
Right.
So we are the ones who had to go to Tulsa. We were the ones that had to go to Lawrence or Kansas City or wherever things were going on. We had to leave Wichita to see it. And so, you know, now that the entertainment industry there has grown and there's more mid-sized venues there now.
There is.
For years, bands didn't come here because they couldn't play. We either had the Kansas Coliseum, which most bands couldn't fill, and we had the Coleman Ballroom, which has a maximum occupancy of maybe 2,100, 2,200. Don't quote me on that. And after that, it's just clubs. So we didn't have any mid-sized venues, 300 to 600, 700 people. We didn't have that. We have those places now. Hey. You know, we have those places now in Wichita. And so a lot more has been coming through. And that's good. That's a good thing. When people realize, when business owners anyway, venue owners realize that, hey, a mid-sized venue, we can get a lot of bands and acts and entertainment in here that could fill this place, and we ain't got to, like, you know, try and sell them some, like, 5,000-seat arena, you know? A lot of these bands that are touring know their markets and they know their audience and how many of them there are out there. They know this. They know, a band knows. I know that, like, Strength and Agony cannot play the BOK. I know that. You know? But there are bands that can't even play Kane. You know? They have more fans that could fill that more fans. They have more fans that Canes can't facilitate, but they can't fill up an arena. So that's why you have these, you know, kind of mid-sized venues springing up all over the place. Like the Temple Live. like Temple Live in Wichita. I think there's one in Arkansas, like Fort Smith. Like it's a chain of like mid-sized music venues,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just they're bringing in entertainment, and people are going to see it. People are supporting it, so that's good. The Shrine venue here in Tulsa, they do a good job of that. They bring in all kinds of entertainment. They bring in all
And
kinds of acts that people want to see, and their occupancy is probably 250, 300 maybe.
yeah, it's not a lot, but it's a great little
Yeah,
venue. And the Vanguard,
right.
there's another good one.
And oh man, the Vanguard's great. The Vanguard reminds me of a lot of what I kind of come up with in the warehouse scene in hardcore, Wichita.
Yeah.
Like I like this place. I feel comfortable here. I remember this. But they do a good job of bringing in entertainment. It's gotten better in the decade plus I've been here.
So, from a personal perspective, if I was going to book shows, continue doing booking for the local scene, where would you suggest me to go? Would you suggest Tulsa, Oklahoma City, or Wichita? Which one do you think would be easier?
Be easier?
Mm-hmm.
Tulsa by far. Tulsa by far would be the easiest. It'd be the easiest.
There's some great people in Tulsa. About Wichita, in terms of getting different bands there and actually filling venues.
Now, the locals do a pretty good job of filling venues themselves. I mean, since I began, things have evolved into, something good. Like people have been really going to work on their music and their business as musicians, and so they're expanding all that. It's just gotten bigger. And their music's gotten better. Like they're even more driven. Like you can hear the music of a hungry band. You know what I'm saying? They're hungry. They want it. You could hear that effort. You could feel that effort in the music.
Yes.
Usually that kind of goes away a little bit after they made their first million.
Mm-hmm.
But you can hear that,
Wait, are we talking about jazz musicians again?
Man. Pick a genre, okay?
Do what?
Hard rock, heavy metal, like pick one. Like hip hop. That's just how it is.
That bad W word. You got to put in that work.
Funny. You got to put in that work. That's just what I've been accustomed to all these years. Like, no matter what the situation was, it was like, all right, how are we going to level up? I've never been comfortable in a band, and it served its purpose. It's worked to our advantage. Like, I'm not satisfied. I'm not comfortable. This is the way I am, and a lot of people, that doesn't work for them. So it's been hard for me to want to be in bands with people anymore. They much rather look cool. They much rather, I don't know. Is this what you are, or is this what are you? Like I'm that guy.
Yeah. So
I don't like calling people posers.
Do what?
I don't like calling people posers, so I don't. But the thing is, it's like like I said, people can spot a phony. People can spot one, especially kids.
So
Kids can spot a phony. hey, that's not Tony the Tiger. Like, shit, no, you think? All right, good job, kid. Like,
So, anything else that you would want to talk about? To like, what advice could you give local musicians that we haven't covered yet? Something that gets overlooked, or is there anything that gets overlooked that we don't talk about?
I have my personal feelings and opinions on some people's direction with where they go and how they approach music, but my opinion doesn't matter, neither does anybody else's. If you enjoy doing what you do and people enjoy it, do that shit. I'm too old to complain. I'm too old to care. I just hope you guys have fun. I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. I hope you guys are successful at it. However you guys want to do. That's basically it. We all think certain things of each other when we make certain decisions, but does it really matter? Nah. We still get to hear music. We still get to see our favorite band. We still get to. It just doesn't matter. So I'm pretty sure I got a couple of messages and I saw one post. And I like CJ McClellan. He's a good guy, really good guy. Nice guy.
I'm proud of him.
Oh yeah, man. That guy's been consistent, dude. He's just consistent. That's we ain't gotta talk about that guy in work. We don't have to. Like, he works, all right. He does his stuff, right?
We'll just call him Bruno.
I'm not angry or upset at him, but I made a post about Rocklahoma and why I don't go. I know it's called CJ. I said I don't go to Rocklahoma because I like heavy and more obscure music. I don't have a problem with rock music. I don't have a problem with what people choose to enjoy. And I know for a fact the promoters of Rocklahoma work hard to do the best they can. I know this. I'm not taking any of that away. But I am just one person that is into something else. DJ put up a post the next day, and he basically said that, so for the last 24 hours, all I could see was people complaining about Rocklahoma because there's not enough metal and whatever else. I'm just paraphrasing that part. He goes, it is called Rocklahoma. I'm like, no shit, nigga. I know it's called Rock. I've been there. I've played it. You know what I'm saying? I know what goes on there. The only reason I've been to Rocklahoma is because I played it. That's it. There's always something that everybody can see there and enjoy. Hell, there's bands that I saw there that I enjoy. But most of the stuff I did not enjoy. So if I am a festival goer and I am spending money, I'm going to go somewhere where I get to at least see what I want. If I'm going to spend $1,000 over a weekend, including a ticket or VIP camping or whatever it is, if I'm going to spend any kind of amount of money like that, I want to make sure it's entertainment I enjoy. I ain't trying to take nothing away from the average Rocklahoma fan. Man, they do what they want, man. I was out there. I've seen them having a good time, man. We need stuff like that. The more the merrier. Fine. Great. But the notion that people are complaining because it's not all metal, that's kind of silly, kind of ignorant.
It is.
I didn't sit there and say that Rocklahoma should have more metal. I didn't say that. I didn't say that Rocklahoma should change for me or people like me. I didn't say that.
You're just one person.
So I'm just one motherfucker, man. I'm just one motherfucker. Like I said, I don't dislike the dude. I don't hate the dude. He's a hell of a player. He's cool with me. No beef. But I was just like, man, look, the only reason I made a post is because people asked me. He made a
Mm-hmm.
post because me liking metal and wanting to go to a metal festival upset him. And he wanted me to know that it was Rocklahoma, not Metalahoma. I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm fine
Especially
with
when you see the
Rocklahoma.
post all the time.
I'm fine with it, you know. But it's not what it is. It isn't a genre preference thing. It really is a budget and entertainment thing.
Especially the budget nowadays.
Especially the budget nowadays. I'm pretty sure that every fucking band that's playing there is fantastic. I'm pretty sure of it, okay? Like, all those bands that are playing Rocklahoma have earned the right to be there. They do their thing. They do their shit. They put in the work. They're there. Happy for them. Take nothing to get no buts about it. You know? I'm happy for them.
Exactly.
Just don't think somebody's bitching and complaining because they like heavy metal. You know? I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not even really a metalhead. I mean,
You just know how to do it.
I like all kinds of music, you know?
You have to. As a musician, you really need to.
You need to. I don't know one musician that doesn't listen to multiple things. Now, maybe your primary love is not metal, and that's fine too. But, you know, I was able to give an opinion and leave somebody the dignity of not thinking what they like to do should change.
You know, I have watched a lot of change with Rocklahoma. And, you know, I see the post all the time, like even when they bring in, like they had Yellow Wolf and I think Tech Nine. And it's like people want to sit there and bitch say, hey, it's not called Raplahoma. But you know what? It brings people in.
Yes. Like, okay, so in essence, the longer a festival goes, the younger the crowd should get, correct?
Yeah.
Like, we're not kids anymore. There's young kids, there's younger people coming to this festival now. There's a reason they don't play the 80s and 90s stuff anymore. They still have some of that, but that's not what the primary festival is anymore. That's what Rocklahoma started at, you know?
Yeah.
And times change. The audience changes. I'm sorry, but our American children are listening to some other shit. It's not rock and roll anymore. I'm not saying old people have to step to the side because we don't, but we need to accept the fact that things do need to change when it comes to certain things like that.
We have to understand that, yeah, Foo Fighters. We have to understand that, yeah, Foo Fighters is a classic rock band now.
Right? I remember buying that record in '95. You know, Pearl Jam's 10 is a classic album. Soundgarden's Bad Motorfinger is now a classic album. Alice in Chains' Dirt is now played on classic rock radio. I mean, you know, the older you get, it shifts. You know, things change.
And you know where they put us at Rocklahoma?
What's that?
The ADA section.
Yeah, you know.
We're the ones with the lawn chairs blocking the pit. Get off my line.
I mean, I just hate it when when I have an opinion and I'm obviously not hating, and someone wants to say something like I was. I just don't like it.
And you know, I saw.
He's a good dude. He's cool. I like him, man. I ain't got no beef with that guy. He didn't like that. He didn't like that he felt that I didn't like the festival because it didn't have enough metal, and I didn't say that. But I had the right not to like his statement because it was straight up ignorant.
Now, as long as afterwards,
that's where he was going with it, you know, that's where he was going with it.
As long as you guys afterwards, and just, you know, and not just you two, anytime that it comes to things like that within the community, forgive, forget, and move on. Go play another show together.
Yeah. Man, like I said, I ain't got no problem with them at all.
You play a show with them tomorrow.
we all have our opinions, and I sit back and watch opinions every day. I don't really when I go online and talk about things, it's generally like general stuff about myself. You know, I really don't care what people do anymore because it doesn't matter what I say or what I think. It really doesn't. I know my opinion to anybody. It doesn't matter because I don't live in their skin. They have to live in their skin. So, you know, fine.
The only opinion that really should matter is our own.
Exactly. I'm not saying somebody's wrong for what they're thinking, but if they're telling me about something they know and it's wrong, I'm gonna tell them. You know, I hate it when people. Well, it's just plain as day. Especially when I type it. Language is important to me. Language is very important to me. If I'm typing some shit out, I'm not stupid. I say what I mean. I know what I'm saying. You know, I'm not mincing my words. If I really felt like Oklahoma should change for me, I would have said so. I would have even if I didn't want to say so, even how I felt would have probably came across the keyboard as, I wish they would play more metal, have more metal bands. I didn't even say that. I know who Oklahoma is for, and that's cool. Nothing against it. I never even said Rocklahoma sucks. Never once. But people want to start talking shit like, you know, hey, it's Rocklahoma. Duh.
Yeah, I see comments on all kinds of posts.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, just enjoy it if you enjoy it. If somebody doesn't enjoy it, at least respect their opinion on why they don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Maybe through dialogue, people can learn to enjoy things together.
But you know, I do know that there's some that's like, I don't want to go because the bullshit going on, the drama going on.
That's what I see a lot of. This person doesn't like me. I don't like this person. Now, for the most part, most people are cool. But it's just that little bit that you see on a constant basis sometimes. It's just, it's not like, I don't like being around I don't like being around 80,000 people anyway. I'm from the hood. I got issues. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. I have done it, but so I had to be there. That's why. But now that
You'd rather be in front of and not with.
Exactly. I'm safer on that stage. You want me to be honest.
Oh yeah, you are.
I'm safer on that stage.
Just don't stage dive off of it.
Oh hell no, man. My joints can't take it. I'm 45 years old. I fuck myself up.
That's what I was saying earlier about the ADA section.
Right. You know. Yeah, I had my fun in the pit when I was younger. I had my fun. It's not me. We have to get to the rubber people that can't even shave yet. I'm all right with you.
And you know what? I tell you what. If I could have been to Rocklahoma 20 years ago, I might have bitched and griped about the VIP seating, but the older I get, the more I enjoy it.
You know what? You know, it's not something I've seen that's new or anything like that. I've seen one other setup like Rocklahoma, and it was Rockfest in Cadott, Wisconsin. Who should have played it? We were on main stage. And so we were on main stage and we saw benches. We were like, holy shit, we didn't expect that. You know, we knew that at Rocklahoma, but we didn't expect the benches. But like we talk about promotions and festivals and things like that, they're gonna get that money. And access is everything to some fans. So if you if you pay for VIP, you're gonna be close. They want to sell and make that money for VIP seating. I remember people thinking Slayer tanked their performance in 2014, 2015, something like that. I was there, and Slayer used to playing actual metal festivals where there is no like VIP benches. There's just a bunch of bleeding, sweating kids beating each other up in front of them. That's what they're used to. the part of that set that sticks out to me, because everybody that was in VIP, they were just standing there while they saw mosh pits going way beyond in the back. And Slayer, they stopped after like the third or fourth song, and they kind of gathered in a group by the drum riser. And then a few seconds later, they turn around, and Tom Araya looks out at everybody and goes, "Is everybody okay out there?" And of course, we're happy to see them. You know, people thought Slayer tanked their performance. And I'm like, man, they don't move any damn way. Are you serious? It's not like you really expect Slayer to be jumping and running around. They're almost 60 years old. Really? You think they didn't do that in 85? You know? They stood there and thrashed out. Like, they didn't, that's not their style. People are so critical. They just can't shut the fuck up and enjoy what they're seeing right then and there. They just can't shut up and appreciate what's going on in front of their very eyes.
And you know, that's something a lot of people tend to forget.
Is roses, smell them, man. Like, that's music. Smell, like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people on the internet, "We need Slayer in Oklahoma. We need Slayer in Oklahoma." And then they get Slayer, and then the next day they take their performance. I'm like, oh my God. Really? Really? It gets on the nerve. It gets on the nerve. Be thankful, man.
Yeah.
And they showed up to Oklahoma. Okay. Woo,
I kind of wonder how Marilyn Manson's going to do.
Oh, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. You know?
I think so. At least it's not Jackal, right?
Huh?
So at least it's not Jackal, right?
Funny story. So King Shifter, we were on tour. We were playing some festivals, and we couldn't escape Jackal. Like, the joke was, well, wherever we're going, I'm sure Jackal's going to be there. So we went to Rockfest in Canot, Wisconsin, and we knew Jackal was playing because we always heard him, right? We were on our way leaving the festival, on our way to Mankato, Minnesota, and we were about to get in the van and leave, and I'm like, man, boys, we're about to roll out of here without hearing Jackal. And then as soon as like I step in the van, I hear, "Oh, Socrates!" And it fucking changed. I don't hate Jackal, but damn, I've heard enough. Okay, I don't care if I ever hear another Jackal song ever again. Okay, I've heard enough.
I don't know. I love him if it's on a good show, but
for sure. I just heard him a lot.
I hate to judge on people, but it always seems like it's almost the same set every year. And you see that not only in some of the bigger bands, but some of the local bands do it too. It's just they start doing the same set because that's what they're comfortable with, and they don't put in the effort to step outside that comfort zone and keep going and change things up.
My thought on that is, on a local level, let's just say a band may not have 2-3 albums worth of stuff that they can pick their best from. Now, most local bands, we just play what we got until we write something new or we phase something out, or, you know, once you start playing out, you'll know what songs do well. So it's just tough to say. Like, I'm pretty sure we can mix up the songs in a set every night. Tool's in some trouble. Well, they ain't in no trouble, but people are angry at Tool right now because they spend between $4,000 and $10,000 to go to the Dominican Republic to see 2 unique set lists. You know, like, and they play four of the same songs they did the night before. So I would feel that. I mean, most Tool fans are. Most Tool fans are. I love Tool, but I can't stand most Tool fans. They're overbearing and pretentious bastards.
I'm gonna pretend like I never heard that.
Look,
I'm a Tool fan.
Tool's great, they really are, but like, damn, it's like the Dallas Cowboys. It's like I don't mind the Cowboys are the Cowboys. It's their fans that get off on nerves. all about that, you know. I don't hate the Cowboys. No, I mean, I appreciate Tool. I am a fan. I just don't think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And that's all right if somebody thinks that, you know.
You're not the
I don't
Slayer fan of Tool.
I like I like Slayer. I give them the respect. You know, they
The
have
diehard
put out
Slayer
great
fan.
records, but I'm I like other stuff. Like I'm more into hardcore. Like thrash is cool. I'm more into hardcore. That's where I'm at. Like growing up, I listened to a lot of hardcore punk, and then as I started being a metal band, more aspect of hardcore started being influenced into punk. Or I'm sorry, into metal, and so that's where I've been able to fit in with that. I was able to blend my kind of hardcore style with some metal. You know, you started seeing that at one point in my career, and I like the evolution of me. And I was one of the very few. I didn't think Tool's last album sucked. I did not, but it just was not interesting to me. Yes, those guys can play. Yes, Maynard can sing. I like listening to records for the experience. You know, they don't write music like that anymore. They don't write music for that anymore. You put out a single because kids' attention spans are short as hell, and that's that. I'm okay with singles, but I'm old school. I like listening to full lengths. I like 33. I get a full experience. Like listening to a Pink Floyd record is an experience. You're not just listening to Pink Floyd, you're experiencing that thing.
Exactly.
You're not listening to Metallica's Ride the Lightning. You're experiencing Metallica's Ride the Lightning. You know, they wrote albums and songs for an experience, and that's just what's missing. And that's why I get depressed sometimes when it comes to the things I want to listen to. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Things and times have changed. It's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, and then I've also seen, you know, I'll say this from a technical aspect. I've seen people bitching about, you know, the amount of show, like all the lasers and all the extra lights, and it's like more of a light show now than anything. And you especially see that in some of the church aspect too, some of those big mega churches, which I have an opinion on that one too. That, you know, that gives people jobs. You know, these mega churches, they have somebody come in and, you know, they teach them how to do it, or maybe it's somebody that's already experienced needing a job. You know, but people want to sit there and bitch something about lights. But you know, back before all the extra technology, it's like, well, I wish it would change. This is getting kind of boring. You know, who wants to watch the same show time after time and not change it? You know, not add the extra lights, not add some fire, not add some explosion, not add a spinning drum cage and do circles over a crowd or something, you know?
I ain't gonna lie, man. When I saw footage of Garth Brooks flying over the audience, I was happy. It couldn't have been any more rock and roll than that. Like, you know, that was different for me. I like Garth Brooks. He's good. He's really good.
Garth Brooks is cool. Phil Oklahoman.
Right. Production is good. Like, I wish a lot of bands could afford the production. Local bands, when they're creative, they're really good at creating an aesthetic. But it takes money to build a production. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love, like, back in the day, my roommate, he used to be a sound and lights engineer for a band back in the day called Oliver Magnum. And he was telling me about how that band would have to tour with its own sound and lights. Like, they had to do that. Like, they're playing bars and clubs that don't have those things. So not only are they getting paid to play, they're getting paid for the use of their sound and their lights.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way it was back then in the old 80s. You know?
Nowadays, good luck sharing a microphone.
Yep.
But then again, I know where that mouth has been. Or do I? Never mind.
I have my own.
I've only been slobbering on it for half the night. You can use the other half.
I've got several microphones, yes. Oh,
Glad to see
yeah.
you finally pick up the bass. Glad to pick up some of the load of the band and actually going to play some guitar. That way you don't just like, good night, unplug the microphone, walk off stage. You actually have something to do now.
Well, so for years, like if anybody's ever seen me, I've always been a very physical performer. I kind of tend to treat shows as possessions, so to speak. I'm possessed up there. The music's doing something to me. I feel like a lot of the stuff is a lot of the stuff that people do. Yeah, sometimes it's calculated, but I don't really do the same thing twice. Wait, I take that back. I hung upside down from the rafters at Badass Renee's 2 or 3 times.
Nice.
There's pictures somewhere online of it.
So is that where the old boy from Fever 333 got it? He got it from you.
I've never seen Fever 333.
That guy is a nuts. Like he'd actually hung from the spotlight rafters up there at Rocklahoma. And then I watched him do it again on one of those canopy tents. Better than what we take to Rocklahoma, but the commercial for over the soundboards and lighting and stuff like that. He got to play at Knot Fest up in Iowa a couple years ago, and he did the same thing, like went right down the middle and crawled up on top of that tent and hung over and just he was just going to town. He was enjoying it. He was hanging from those rafters.
Yeah, that was me before arthritis. That was me before arthritis and insurance. And
the insurance, yeah. I bet they didn't smile on that one.
It's funny. I have a mother figure in Oklahoma City, and she saw the picture of me hanging upside down from the rafters at Renee's. And she goes, "You better quit doing that. You're getting old." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." I was like 37. 37 or something like that. And I just do a bunch of stuff. I just try to take care of myself more now, you know? I'm not as reckless with my body as I used to be.
Well, you only have the one body, and by God, if we would have known 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Man. You already know.
But you mentioned the word arthritis. I told my rheumatologist I'm not going to call it that anymore. It's no longer arthritis. It's early onset rigor mortis.
I like that.
You have to tell that to your friend, the one that has the picture. You have to tell that to her.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to stop doing that. I got early onset rigor mortis.
Right. I'm decaying as I'm walking. Can you smell me?
I smell like Teen Spirit.
So my girlfriend and I were walking somewhere. We were out somewhere, and I was walking, and she goes, "Oh my God!" I was like, "What?" She goes, "Your ankles." I was like, "Huh?" I guess my ankles pop a lot when I walk. I've been physical in my life, okay, very, and so I said, "I didn't know my ankles were popping." She goes, "Wow." I said, "For real, I pop so much, I just I just tune it out now." Like,
Yeah, I did. Sadly, yeah. Snap, crackle, pop. Pour some milk on me.
Right. Don't spare any honey. I know.
So
I
yeah, that's kind of
know,
important
man.
to know for a young person. Like, take care of your body. Stage
Hey,
jumping's fun, but do it safely.
yeah, I've told all kinds of young folks, hey, look, don't fuck yourself up before it's time, okay? Like, you have an entire life to live. It's the
Yeah,
quality of life that you want. If shit
exactly.
happens, it happens. But do what you can do. You know?
Kind of like flipping a trash truck. Shit happens.
Shit, I might get brain damage at a charity softball game. You know what I'm saying?
That foul ball.
Right?
Yeah, it happens. But you know what? Why do we have to make it happen? Being reckless, being stupid.
Some people just do not help themselves. I've learned that too. Any self-destructive person cannot help themselves.
My therapy teams ask me all the time, as part of their questionnaire, do you ever have plans of hurting yourself or think you're better off not here? I'm just like, I don't like the pain I'm in now. I don't want to hurt myself anymore. I mean, what else do you say?
One time I got arrested and the nurse asked me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how suicidal are you? I was like, what? I'm in here for an unpaid fucking ticket.
I,
Zero. Oh man, it's hilarious sometimes.
where did that even come from?
What?
Getting pulled over and that interaction make it make sense that some people, I swear. She should have been a guitarist, huh?
Mm-hmm. Or bass player.
Damn guitars.
Man, ever since I started playing jokes, the bass memes have just hit me like a ton of bricks. I didn't see bass memes at all. I don't see bass player memes at all hardly. And now every third thing on my Facebook feed is something insulting bass players.
I might have a meme or two saved. I'll post them on your timeline for you.
Right. Oh man, a lot of those are funny, man. A lot of them are really funny.
Oh yeah. Kind of like hearing drummer jokes and stuff. It is what it is. I chose the life, try to be a drummer. Now decided to sound tech and interviewing people and just having a good time. I should have been a bassist, huh?
Well, it's interesting. In my personal experience, the majority of the bass players I've been in bands with have been pretty even-keeled people. There's one guy in particular. I was in a band called Zero Cell many years ago, and
Okay.
the bass player, his name is Jeff Butler. You can check him out in a band called Love Like War. They're out of Salina, Kansas. Check them out. But that guy, it was a 4-piece. We were fucked up. We were drinking, we were partying, he didn't do that. So he kind of had he was like the cat herder. You know what I'm saying? He was hanging with us, he felt like he was like herding cats sometimes. But, but he
Right.
always took it in stride, he never got angry with us. He never screamed at us or anything like that. But most of the bass players I've been in bands with, they've always been even-keeled kind of guys.
Oh yes, I know.
They really mild-mannered guys.
They are.
I think I'm the only outrageous bass player that I know, outside of Nine.
No, you're still learning. So once you get in there, you'll be the nice, chillest person ever.
Well, I'm getting older, and apparently I have no choice. This is what happens, you know. The older you get, the more calmer you should be. I still got too much fire in my belly, though. I guess that's it. I'm just passionate about things. I really had nothing to look forward to in my childhood. Now my adulthood, I'm allowed to be passionate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything restricting me from that. You know, it's
The only thing restricting you is you.
yeah. I'm gonna be who the fuck I'm gonna be. That's for sure. But I encourage everybody else to do the same. You know, if you're passionate about something and you're not hurting yourself and you're not hurting anyone else, I say do it to the fullest. People will see you. People will acknowledge you. People will be cool with your good work. So
100%.
just do that, man. You're nobody will give a shit as much about you as an artist or your band than you. So you make that happen.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna give a fuck more than me. It's the attitude you need to have. You know, that's how you level up. You know.
Be you. Be passionate. Be passionate about your work. Put in the work. Advertise yourself. Promote yourself.
And most
Don't go with shit
important,
promoters.
believe in yourself, man. Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
You know what? I can't tell you how many musicians I see on a regular basis, and I look up to them on stage and be like, those motherfuckers don't believe in themselves. Or that guy doesn't believe in himself. I can tell sometimes. Sometimes it's very obvious.
Yeah.
You know? But I want everybody to be able to do what they enjoy with music the way they choose to enjoy it. As long as it exists and as long as people are making the choice to support the things that they want to do, I'm all for it, man. I can't be against that. Like, I can't hate on that.
No, you
I
can't.
can't hate on that.
You can't. You know,
Fuck
if
it,
you
make
wanted to go
6
off, do what?
Rockahoma. 6 Rockahomas. I don't give a damn. You know, like as long as people enjoy and support it, because it's necessary. You know, it's
Yes,
needed. I would love to see like festivals of heavier music. Like I've been to the This Is Hardcore festival in Philadelphia before. I love that. Like that's my kind of music. That's what I like. That's what I like listening to. I would love to see something like that jump off here, but I don't think it'll get that support.
All we can do is try. Let's go right now.
They're like, I don't like all that screaming. We love stir. Yeah, fine, okay, great. You know, they always want to trash some shit. You know, like I don't give a fuck that like Disturbed. I don't give a fuck that they do the music they do. Hell, I actually like the first album. The second whatever else song, man, I'm not a big fan of. I can dig that first piece though. It was all right, but like when you're starting to say like somebody's better than somebody else because you don't like them, man, that ain't true. I've always been an underdog kind of guy. I've always been a part of the underground dregs of society, if you will. You know, I'm a man who cooks people's food for a living. Yeah, you could probably like a lot of lowlights do that job. You know, I'm not gonna let you look at me and tell me that I don't have any value because I scream. Screaming is taking me all over this country. I hate it when people, you know what, you can make it if you didn't scream so much. And I'm just looking at them and like, I could choke the fuck out of you. You just don't know. Like, I've been all over this country. I've toured, okay? Played in front of a lot of fucking people in major festivals. I made it, bitch. Don't tell me I didn't make it, you know? I hate that shit. If you're on stage and you're playing every night in some other place, even for 4 or 5 days, you made it. You made it, man. You're able to do that and have that experience. What other pressure do you need on you? And if you did it being yourself, great, man. Man, some people just don't know, and I don't get mad because people don't like heavy music. Like I said, I'm not truly a metalhead myself, but the perception is so ignorant about it. You know,
They are.
it's just so ignorant.
It's just like the fight with Nickelback. Who cares?
Yes, I'm like, man, I don't hate on Nickelback. It ain't my kind of music, but I don't hate on it. Like, them dudes are cashing chat. In fact, they need to turn me on the game. They need to turn me on with some information, man. That's where it's at. You know?
Have you heard their remake of Devil Went Down to Georgia?
No, I haven't. I know it exists. I just haven't heard it yet.
I've played that song for people like, holding my phone blind, knowing that they don't like Nickelback. I play it. Then they're listening to that. Who is that? And they're like listening, like, that sounds familiar. Finally, at the end, I'll be like, "Are you serious? That was Nickelback?" Yeah.
The heaviest Nickelback record I ever heard, and I haven't heard any recent stuff that they've done. Last thing I heard was a single from 2016, but Silver Side Up for Nickelback.
Is that when they had San Quentin?
I think so. It was pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned later on that when Pantera would play Canada, Nickelback would play with them. And Nickelback was a really heavy band back then. I know a little bit of the history of Nickelback. Everybody starts somewhere. Hell, Pantera wasn't Pantera until, Cowboys from Hell,
There's a reason There's a reason why Metallica has a CD called Garage Days Revisited. They grew up in the garages.
Yeah.
They played those shows with poor people.
Man, the first venue I ever played at, it was called Kirby's Beer Store in Wichita, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was 18 years old. And so every Monday, somebody writes a review and posts it in the bar. Now, this bar is at that time only had a capacity of 30 people.
Wow.
Okay? Since I was 18 and couldn't legally be in there drinking, I had to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a chance to see a copy of the review. The thing is, back in the day in Wichita, if you could make it at Kirby's, you can make it anywhere in town. And Kirby's is used to be the place for debuting yourself. Like, it's a small place. The people they don't take people. They have regulars anyway, just to see what's going on there. You're almost guaranteed to get a decent turnout to your show. Like I said, 30-person capacity. We had a good review, and I was not a good singer. I was not good, but I had a heart. That's what the guy said. I was not a good singer.
And I promise you, these little locals that were in there packing that place, they could tell whether you had the heart or not. If you're getting up there on stage and just faking it, don't even want to make it, they could tell.
But that's also where I come from. That's what makes it hard for me being here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I come from where I come from, and there's nothing fake about that shit. Like, if we thought your band was bad, we fucking tell you. There were no participation trophies. We were out for each other's throats. Like I said, we had camaraderie, and we're all friends to this day. But man,
we pushed each other.
We pushed each other. There's none of that anymore. People don't like that type of motivation. And I get it. Times have changed. I get it. You don't like that type of motivation, but Man, I carry that over into this era of my life, and my generation is just, I'm a dinosaur, you know? The asteroid that's coming, I'm next. I'm the next dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I'm okay with that. Because nothing good can last forever. That's not a lot of. Anyway, but
So
I just,
definitely got to be able to take that criticism, though.
yes, you have to be able to take that criticism. And people can't take criticism. I feel attacked. I'm being gaslit. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, really? Everything does this shit to you? Like, man.
I mean,
That's fine.
why can't I tell somebody that their bass drum is out of tune, you know?
I mean, I've had a couple of people tell me, even though they know my situation, you aren't there yet, but keep working. They're encouraging me. That's what's made me decide to keep on with playing the bass. I'm not bad. I'm not terrible at all. They know I'm going to put in the work. I came out too soon. I believe that. I agree with that. I came out too soon. I like being prepared. That's what we did back home, man. We didn't fucking get a band together and 2 months later play a fucking show. No. We were in a room for 6 fucking months, 8 months. Count on it. Ask any Wichita band. We do it right, man. We want to make sure we got our shit together. We want to make sure we got our reporting. We want to make sure we got our fucking aesthetics. We want to make sure we got whatever we need to do to come out there and appear right and to have that impact, to look and be professional. I can't tell you how embedded the culture in the Wichita scene is for that. It is that. Here in Tulsa, it's a whole other animal. It's okay. I've had to work with it. No big deal. You know.
Right.
I'm not in Kansas anymore.
No,
That's just it. It's not in
different
Kansas
scene.
anymore.
Every
There's
scene's
nothing
gonna be
wrong with
different.
taking your time and doing shit right, which is what I'm usually accustomed to. But I also work very well under pressure. I just hate not being where I need to be doing certain things. That's why I put in the hours, you know. Sunday mornings, I love playing, you know. I love playing Sunday mornings. I know I got
The
practice
extra
the
work.
next day. I'm going to thump around when I get off here with you, you know.
Well, hell, pick up the guitar. Let's go.
I just love it.
If you want to plug it in. I don't care.
Oh, I haven't taken it out of the case since Monday. I've had to work doubles. I'll tell you
So we'd have to sit there and
next time I
listen to you
come back.
tune.
Next time I come back, I'll be prepared. We'll be prepared. We'll do something.
Oh yeah.
We'll do something.
We were gonna do something with Brandon. Remember? He just doesn't know it yet. Sprout enough, and you can play bass for him. Sprout enough. Have you had enough sprouts?
Have I what?
Have you had enough sprout?
Have I had enough sprout?
Tell me those wouldn't be perfect collaboration names.
Yeah, it would. It would. Brandon find it entertaining too.
He is. He really is. He's a great guy to work for too. I've booked him a couple times.
That does not have a ring to it. It does not have a ring to it. So sprouting up our
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But you know, that's the whole thing though, wanting to do this like I'm doing is to connect people together. You know.
You know what? I do appreciate what you're doing. I mean, something as simple as this. I've had a podcast before with my friend Dusty Grant. You know, it was a lot of fun, But I got busy doing other things, and he went off on his own, and he's doing his thing now. But I'm always happy to like be a part of something like this. I like having conversations with people, and like I said, I isolate myself a whole lot, but I do like having conversations with people, and I do like learning new things by listening. And it's funny because I felt ready to talk. Nobody really asks me questions anymore. I'm cool with that, you know. But like, it's like, wow, Michelle wanted to talk to me. All right, cool.
The ones that really need to be talking to you, those beginners, you know, why aren't they
I
talking to
mean,
you?
the beginners will know there's going to be a day where the screws of the training wheels are going to start coming off, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going to have to stand on their own 2 feet and ride.
Yep.
How do you want to do it? Just take your time, make sure what you're doing what you want to do, and care about it more than anything else, if you can. You got
Yeah.
other responsibilities, that's cool. Just make sure it is a priority.
It has to be.
I'll always be a musician for life, but as far as going out there trying to make it, and really, I'm done with all of that. I really am done. It's nice to be able to like sleep in my own bed every night. It really is. I,
The
I,
bed that's
I
not bouncing down the
was on
highway.
the road a long time. I was on the road a long time. A long time. Multiple bands. It's like,
So that's why I enjoy being able to reach out to, people like yourself and others that, you put in your time. You've been, in the local scene. You toured. Have you ever been, playing side by side with Metallica? No, maybe not. But you've gotten out there. You worked your ass off. You've made success. And you have advice to give that could help connect people to be better, to better ourselves.
I don't know. One thing I learned in King Shifter in particular, when it comes to business and success in general, um, in our situation in King Shifter, and in this context, success is not what you can accumulate or the accolades you might receive for certain things, but success is the amount of people that actually want to work with you.
Bingo.
That was success to us. Like,
yes,
our product, which unfortunately, if you're a musician and you want to level up that way, you're going to have to make your band mad. That's just the way you got. We knew to do that.
And that goes for sound. That goes for your sound and lighting production people. That goes for your producers, your booking agents. It goes for everybody in the venue. That's how you have to succeed.
Right.
Ticketmaster, are you listening?
Yeah, but they don't give a damn. Like, yeah, I went to look for tickets for the Wu-Tang Clan concert coming up at the BOK Center here in Tulsa soon.
Mm-hmm.
The ticket was $56 a piece and some nosebleeds, which I can live with because I'm a cheap bastard anyway. And I go to check out just to see how much I would need total. Man, I was gonna have to pay the ticket amount for 56 times two tickets, so that's already over $112, right? But then I had another $50 in fees, and then 20 others. Yeah, I was like, nah, just to go downtown to a concert.
See, we don't like those fees.
No, it's unnecessary.
If I got to pay a fee to clean up afterwards, give me a damn broom and a dustpan. I'll clean up a little bit and save $50.
Correct. I mean, it's there should not be a monopoly on anything in this country. You know, I
Ah,
understand you want to like get ahead and everything, but they even Ticketmaster even owns the scalping. The
yeah, they do.
scalping. It's like it's
And the
ridiculous.
venues.
Oh yeah, Live Nation, they're buying up all the venues. I don't like
Yeah.
that. It's like trying to turn the country into one giant like festival. It's all right. I'm glad I'll be dead one day in the next 25, 35 years. I'll have to see the ridiculousness that's about to unfold.
You
I'll
know,
be glad for them.
that's why I like doing what I'm doing, though. Like, you know, when I booked that show for last month, February 15th, there in Tulsa, um, I didn't want to charge anybody ticket fees, even though it was like $2 and some change. It's like, I'm not doing it because you're paying to come to my show. That's good enough for me. And then that, you know, more people you can get in by, you know, being nice. And like, no, I'm not even
Yeah,
going to charge you that. Like, screw it. I'll take that out of the ticket fees that, you know, I said $15, $20, $25, whatever. That's what I say. That's what I mean. And if it's going to break the bank to not have that couple dollars charge, I don't need to be doing it to
right.
begin with.
I mean, I really wonder sometimes because really, honestly, we really don't know where all that money goes. They can tell us it's one thing, but who knows where that money really goes? So I'm
Right?
sure there's like I'm sure there's some logistics to it, like insurance. That's a big deal.
Have you tried to
Um,
get insurance for a metal show?
okay, so quick story. Steve Murdoch was going to try and put on his own festival out in western Oklahoma
Mm-hmm.
at Thunder Rally, this race.
Yep.
And he and I drove out there one afternoon to look at the grounds, and it was during COVID. So he really wanted to make sure he had his bases covered.
Absolutely.
And, you know, the thing with that is, at that time during COVID, insurance companies were not going to go for an idea like that. And everything was in line. The venue was okay with it. All that other stuff. And I understand why an insurance company wouldn't provide insurance services uh, for a music festival during a pandemic. I understand that totally.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I wasn't mad either way. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's something Murdoch really wanted to have happen. Man, the timing, he would have done a great job with it too. Just the timing was just terrible.
He would have done an amazing job. He always does an amazing job with whatever he does.
Oh yeah, for sure. And but the insurance, like that's a big deal. Like you gotta have that. You gotta have your ass covered. The
I,
insurance ain't for the case, it's just for your ass, really. I mean,
exactly. And you know, so you know, a couple things on that. You know, number one, when I tried to get, you know, at least look into insurance and get some prices, you know, filling this stuff out like eventsure.com and some of those. It's like, are you playing heavy metal at your show? Yes. Oh, we're sorry, we don't cover your type.
oh man. I mean,
But
well, I've been dealing with that for forever. Like there were some venues when I was younger, my band couldn't play in because all the booking agent at a club or that bar owner thought of a metal band is what he saw on MTV. We're gonna smash everything and all this other shit. Man, we're all just some regular Joes. You know, I remember this bar in Wichita called Champs Bar and Grill.
okay.
They started having metal bands. So I mean, and the shows did well every weekend, two times a month. There was metal shows during the weekends, and People came out, spent money, bought alcohol. It was great.
Mhm.
Then what happened was people stopped promoting. They just expected that if they played at Champs, that people was automatically going to show up, and that's not how that worked. So that
No.
raised, you know. But Champs had a lot of memorabilia on the wall. Expensive. It was a Denver Broncos bar. The owner at the time he's a serious Denver Broncos fan. Okay? There is at least $100,000 worth of memorabilia on the walls in this place. He had more problems with the audience of the blues bands that played there than the crowd in the metal shows. So he had no problem, but we didn't want to break shit.
Mhm.
We ain't got no money to pay for anything that we broke in there. We ain't breaking shit. Like,
Yeah, you're not playing a Limp Bizkit.
And I think more importantly, we cared about the place, so we didn't want to mess it up. I've
Yeah.
never heard it. You know, back in the day, there was nothing that would have told me that anything would have been broken, or we have that reputation of being destructive.
They're thinking of those big bands.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, when you're somebody that's not privy to that particular kind of counterculture, when you're not privy to any of that, when you already don't like the music because it's loud and obnoxious to you, and then you see visuals to it, you're certainly not going to want those people to play in your bar if you don't like the music.
Right.
If your club specifically facilitates a specific genre of music to please your clientele, then that's what they do. Like, I don't have a problem with cover bands at all.
Mhm.
Many good ones. Some of them aren't that great, but most of them that I've seen, I can enjoy. They go through that.
Mhm. They do a good job.
They do. And I've been seeing a whole lot more like heavy metal variety cover acts. Of course, I've been seeing like bands that play songs from different decades. Of course, I got a good friend that's from Wichita that lives here in Tulsa, playing in a band that plays nothing but 90s covers. They're really good,
Mhm.
And then maybe a month or 2 months ago, my lady and I went out to the Cimarron, and we saw this band called Juggernaut. And they did a lot of, I guess they're a tribute to festival rock. And I'm like, okay. They did some Slipknot, some Korn, they did some Stone Temple Pilots. They had a nice little mix, it was pretty cool.
Nice. Something different. Something different than Tom Petty.
Yeah. Right. I love Tom. And I
love him
petty.
too, but I love him
like
too,
Tom
but when
Petty.
every other cover band seems to want to do them, or a little bar band, it's like, something different, please. At least play some Freebird for us.
It's karaoke that bothers me the most personally. Like, I got tired of going to bars and karaoke starts, and every old dude thinks he's fucking. He's that
That
guy
old man
turned to
on
fame.
TV. The old man on TV singing Drowning Pool.
He sings old time rock and roll. Like, every old guy thinks he's Bob Seger, and every old white lady thinks she's Stevie Nicks. So karaoke is out of the question for me.
God.
Karaoke is out of the question for me. And I'm just like, oh, God, man. Like I said, I love both those artists. Bob Seger, he's great. Stevie Nicks, she's still a songbird. Like, but
Yeah.
everybody thinks they can do that shit and they can't, But I guess karaoke does mean pub up in Japanese.
No. I'm still having a hard time getting that guy singing Drowning Pool out of my head.
I've seen that video. Yeah. Good for that man. He was having a good time, wasn't he?
He was.
He was having a good time.
He really was. But if that's you at the karaoke machine every week.
There's this old guy that sang Body, like, from my hometown, and he passed away. But he would sing Bodies at this karaoke bar I would go have a drink in sometimes. He was always in there. Hey, Sprout, you ready to hear me sing? Boys? Go ahead. You're like, for the 30th time. Go ahead, bro. Get. You know, you support him. Don't kill him.
It's good to have a good time, though. And that's what a lot of it's about. Just getting out there and have a good time.
He's an old man, too. He loved that song. How long have you been talking? All I can see on this screen is live. I don't even know how many people are watching. I don't know shit. I'm just sitting here talking to you. I can't even see you. It's crazy.
You can't see me. Well, hell, I could. If it wasn't for everybody else seeing me, I could go around the house and do other stuff. Like I could be cooking right now. But the current time is 9:50.
Are you serious?
We had enough. His was 2 hours. Just a hair over 2 hours.
I've got to get off.
I knew this was going to run long, but you know what? Like you said, you usually just sit inside the box, and this is good for you to help let you get your story out there and talk to different people and not have to do it face to face.
Right. I appreciate what you do. It's been really cool to see you showcasing some of the people around here that, people can learn. Hey, this is who we are. We're a part of the collective here. This is what we do. If you like it, come say hello when we perform. Come say hello when we play. It's a good thing that you're doing this. I think more people should do stuff like this. It doesn't have to be some grand production. We're literally just having a conversation without all the bells and whistles of a podcast. So,
right. I'm on a cell phone. You're on a cell phone. We can't see each other.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, okay, I could see you on my computer screen, but like, you're way off.
Oh man, I just turned my computer off. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, I just not turned around on camera. Yeah, you can see how much of a delay there is.
Okay.
Fun times on just cheap technology, huh?
You know what? We're using it. It's working.
Yep. As long as there's people that get to learn about you.
People are probably passed out bored from this shit. They're like, man, this is the most boring podcast I've ever heard. Hey, if anybody's still sitting out there listening and watching, thank you for sticking it out this long.
No doubt.
Thank you.
I think the reason they were still playing it though is because they started watching in bed. They just fell asleep.
Probably.
They're just suffering insomnia. Or they're really contemplating their life right now. Don't do it. Your life is well worth it. I promise you that.
Right.
If you're laid in bed right now listening to this, just contemplating things, don't give up. Keep going.
Don't give up.
Who cares what that drummer says about you? You'll be okay. Vocalist.
The bass player's stupid anyway. Don't listen to that guy.
And the sound tech back here just hitting the mute all.
Right.
That's what I love about being sound tech. You get one of those people there in band practice or whatever, just like, you know what? Mute. What was he saying? I can't hear you.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
No, that's because I hit mute, like being the sound tech.
Oh.
You get somebody up there on stage in front of their mouth. It's like, you know what? Keep going. Mute. Huh? Why don't you go join the band Skid Row?
Oh, man. Well, I really do have to get off of here. I'm going to get some food. I haven't eaten since I've been home.
Oh, shit. Yeah, go get some food. And we'll work on something with Brandon or somebody. Like, we'll do something. I might know a band or two.
I love the shit out of you, you nice lady. I will certainly be back. And I will certainly have fun doing this again, and we will have some fun with Brandon and play some songs and do some stuff. I'll
Yes,
beatbox for the
most
boys.
definitely. It's been real. Appreciate you coming on and
Indeed.
doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. You have a fabulous night. Go get some food. Get some food. Oh, wait. I'm a brat telling you to go get food, really? And drink water.
Well, thank you
And
for
go
having
Kelsey.
me.
So you have a good night.
You have a good night, too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Sprout. Gregory Manuel. Great guy. Go follow him on Facebook. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, it's late. Good enough here. Bye, guys.